Oh man. In the most ridiculous news of the day, you saw the Hawk Twa girl did a fucking rug pull crypto scam.
Mm. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I kind of have to agree
Yeah, it's
with
cool.
Moist on that one of like at this point, you know, you kind of deserve to be
Oh
scammed.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I kind of have to
Yeah, yeah,
at a certain
yeah. If you
point,
don't know
like
it's a fucking scam,
yeah, the
uh,
Hawk coin for the fucking Hawk Twa girl. You didn't think that was a fucking rug pull, really? Like
yeah,
Jesus.
it's ridiculous. Like how she's trying to play dumb.
Well,
Well,
I
she
mean
might
that
actually
can't
be
be very
dumb. It
difficult.
is possible. Yeah, I was gonna say it's possible she got played too, but I doubt it.
I sincerely, yeah, I
Uh,
don't fucking buy it. I don't think at any point anybody is can say like, well, I didn't know. When you know, you just kind of got to look and see like, well, but you knew you were going to make a whole bunch of money off of something that wasn't worth any money. You knew that was going to happen, right? Like you didn't. That wasn't a surprise for you or anyone else. So, are we supposed to really believe you didn't know that that was going to be a fucking scam? That you were just printing money like by random chance?
mm, yeah, like it's just magic.
Yeah.
The money is magic.
It was just going to
It's the
occur
magic of the
out of
internet.
thin air. You know, the internet, it's free money on
Yeah.
the internet.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always those people, as obnoxious as it is, there's always those people that are going to fucking buy into it at this point. And I think it's probably, like Charlie said, it's mostly people who thought they could beat the rug pull.
Yeah, being on it.
Like they
Yeah.
could get, like they
Yeah,
would get
that's
in and
really
out
dumb.
before. They're like, no, if I just invest really quick and then get right back out as fast as I can, I'll make more money. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lose money on this like every other chump. And it's like, no, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not in on, if you weren't one of the one of the people already in on the scam, it is astronomically unlikely that you're going to make a fucking dime. And if you're
Yeah,
trying to
oh
make a
yeah,
lot of money, you're probably going to lose a lot of money.
yeah. It'd be nice if somebody went to
Oh, yeah,
jail
I
over
heard
this one
somebody.
though. Like if they were just too
Yeah.
dumb to fucking properly cover their tracks or something. If we're lucky.
Yeah, that would be a nice change. We'll see.
Yeah, oh yeah. I
Sounds
think
like
what we'll
there's
see
some
is
unique shit on this one.
that they're just gonna fucking get away with it. I wish at some
Most
point the
likely.
government would step in and start actually enforcing like some of the laws in this about like these financial things. Because it's like
Yeah,
YouTubers can
yeah,
just go through and just like with no repercussions, just completely run these ridiculous scams that are just so blatant, you know, with no consequences.
yeah. It's very odd.
I gotta
You
say,
know, I'm like,
man, the
oh, is
people that
it
get ripped off
crypto?
are much better people than I am.
Oh yeah, I'd be fucking finding out where these people live,
Yeah, there's no question.
tracking them down.
It'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna at the very least they're getting a beat down.
Yeah,
Like I couldn't imagine. Like it's like, and there's people I know who are like I'd be really surprised. Well, I guess if you're smart enough to be that vindictive or that vicious, uh, you're probably clever enough not to fucking invest in the first place.
right, right.
Oh yeah, I saw. So I live in California. Apparently, there was an earthquake somewhere in California today that was really big, and everybody was worried about it. Fucking, my mom
Oh,
woke me up in the middle of a nap to like tell me like, oh no, we got this earthquake warning. It's like, well, what am I gonna do? Either it doesn't happen
yeah.
and it
You
doesn't
haven't
matter,
outrun
or
it,
it happens and I'm safer just laying in my bed.
right?
You know,
Yeah,
like just
waking you
laying.
up. That's
Yeah, like
probably
why
more
even?
dangerous.
Yeah, just let me fucking ride it out. Like I could have been fine either way. But uh, California passed a law recently that says that they intend to make more gun control legislation. Like that was it. That's all it says.
What?
or they're trying to pass it right now. So,
is this the legislature, or was this like
yeah, no,
a
this is the
ballot?
California legislature. Yeah, like the governor and the fucking legislature are working on it. So the only thing I can imagine
It's
is
like
maybe it's like a
riot.
placeholder, and they're gonna just sneak a bunch of other shit in there later. You know, after like people are like, oh yeah, it's just a dumb law, and then they're gonna be like, oh yeah, quick, put all this shit in here now. Or it's just as dumb as as it looks, you know. Or it's like, no,
Right.
no, it's just as fucking dumb as it looks. They really don't have any real plan here.
It seems like that could get uh, taken to the Supreme Court and gotten rid of. You would hope.
Well, I mean, they just sort of arbitrarily do whatever the fuck they want, like regardless of what the people want anyway. So,
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
cause you remember, like, what was it like? It was like the election before the last one. I think it was the one that Biden got voted in on. We voted to have, you know, spring forward, fall back. We voted to repeal that, so stop doing that. And they just ignored it.
Right.
They were like, "Oh, well, we didn't think you were gonna vote a way that we didn't like, so we're just gonna not do that." That's cool, right? You know, like we're just gonna not do that at all because we didn't think you were gonna do that. Guys, real, you know, sorry about that. Not really sorry, but you know, sorry about that. It's like, all right, I guess. You know, the
Yeah,
entire
we would've
state
never
fucking
allowed
voted
that on the
specifically
ballot.
to do this, and you just decided, no, we don't really want to.
We would have never allowed that on the ballot if you thought we were going to vote that way.
Yeah, so they just, you know, removed that from the ballot, which was nice of them, I suppose. You know, couldn't want us making our own decisions.
Though it did sound like there were quite a few ballot initiatives that passed with wild popularity.
Like the one to make
That
crime
were
illegal.
Yeah.
Crime is now illegal again in California. They actually have to punish people for committing crimes. No doubt people are very upset. I couldn't give half a shit. You know, fuck them.
You're right.
Fuck those people and their fucking dumb faces. But yeah, no, it's actually it's a very nice sort of surprise to find out that like they've actually made crime illegal again in California. It was not surprising because it was put to the people, and the people overwhelmingly were like, yeah, no, please, we really need to stop with the fucking rampant crime running through our streets. You know, people just being murdered and raped and fucking robbed all day long every day is kind of a bad thing for every kind of business.
Yeah, who knew?
Like, yeah, who would have thought? I can't imagine how that one slipped by everybody there. Weird, man, weird. Yeah, I don't know, that whole situation is fucking bonkers. Because our governor and the legislature and stuff were fighting like tooth and nail to try to stop that as much as they could.
Oh, not surprising in the least.
Yeah, they were like, no, we don't want to make crime illegal. That's racist. It's racist. It's like, well, holding people accountable for their actions is a race issue? Like, that's weird, because I didn't see anywhere in any of the laws that held people accountable based on anything other than just what they chose not to do. Weird, isn't it? You know, it's like, it's almost like their skin color had nothing to do with the law, and the law had nothing to do with their skin color. It's strange.
Yeah, but what you don't understand is the noble savages, minorities.
Yeah.
They can't help but commit crime, so that's why it's racist, because they cannot help themselves.
They're just poor little innocent
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah, well, not innocent, but they're just they can't help. You know, they're just weak and unable to abide by civilization because they're the noble savages. So,
oh yeah, you're right. The way that they say it, they're always like,
yeah, it's the condescending racism of the leftist white people. Anyway,
like the black people can't get like driver's licenses thing. Yeah, where
yeah.
You're like,
yeah, they're far too
most
stupid.
people have driver's licenses, buddy. Like that's not really ever been a question as to whether black people can get like IDs or driver's license. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
What was it? What was the one that was Kamala or somebody? Who fucking I forget who said it. But they were like,
The computer
oh,
one?
yeah, the computer one, where they were like, most black kids don't even know what a computer is. And you're just like, fucking, what?
Yeah, they don't even know what the word is means, dude. It's fucking amazing. Like, wow. It's like, it's like
Why did
I
black
kind
people
of jumped.
overwhelmingly start swinging towards Trump? I can't imagine why.
It's a real fucking mystery when
With
fucking
racism like that,
Democrats are
why
saying
wouldn't
shit
they?
like that.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, I
This
couldn't
is
believe it. I'm like, wow. I thought they just kind of quietly thought that shit, but never said it out loud. But they started to. I'm like, wow, they really are.
well, it's like
Because
abortion has
again,
always been a way
I've
to
been saying
cull
it. Fucking.
to cull the black people. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
that's always been like intended as a way to keep the black population under control. The whole
Hmm.
abortion thing, making it
Yeah,
as
Planned
legal and stuff, that
Parenthood.
was always the intention of the people that put it in place in the first place.
Yeah. Oh, Planned Parenthood for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
What you're
like
talking
they
about?
openly
Planned Parenthood.
talked about it for like a long for forever, and then like people just ignored it and chose to disregard that aspect of it because my uterine rights, all that kind of bullshit. It's like, no, your
Yeah.
right to decide about getting pregnant was right before you had sex in the first place. Like you knew that was a potential, and now you want to murder your baby because you don't you don't want to deal with the consequences of making your choice. It's like, what a
Yeah.
surprise that they wanted to like stop making crime illegal.
Mhm.
I think the
Yeah.
problem
It's
is
very.
that weird sort of narcissistic idiocy is getting so out of hand. Where like people have been able to like encourage when they're all through like school and everything else, like they're encouraged to believe that there's some sort of
Nothing there.
group or force holding them back, and that it's never like their own decisions that
Yeah.
caused it in the first place, so that they never feel like they never realize like, oh, if my life is not where I want it to be right now, what I need to do is change the things I'm doing, improve myself in some fashion, and
Mm.
actually
It
like
sounds like.
fix that. Like because they're just like, no, it's somebody else's fault, so I'll just stay exactly the same as I am, keep doing the same self-defeating bullshit, and blame someone else, and it's just I'm perfect, they're not. I'm perfect, and they're just holding me back.
Mhm.
It's like this is like
Yeah.
it breeds its insane narcissism. It's like it's just beyond it. Like it's
Yeah.
so
It's
far
really,
beyond.
really shitty. Like, I guess they don't seem to think that through. Like, okay, so you're like, there's going to be a few here and there that are going to be like, fuck you, I'm going to achieve anyway. But a vast majority of people in that situation are like, wait, the system's rigged to get me just because I'm brown or black or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
going to give up. I'm not going to bother trying.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are
You
like
know?
that, which is weird to me because like I would be like, well, if the
Yeah.
system's rigged against me, I'm
Yeah.
gonna figure out how to
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
unrig the system. Thank you very much.
Yeah. But a
But
lot of people will just be like defeated by that.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
sad. Well, and the really sad thing is like they're gonna keep doing the same shit that doesn't work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so like they're never gonna ever improve in any way because they're literally refusing to.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's sad. Like they're just
But it does sound like the minorities are getting uppity, voting for the Democrats automatically anymore.
Yeah. If
That's
there's
nice.
people that are actually starting to think and use their brains and vote for anything other than Democrats, that's a really good sign because
Yeah.
that will
Yeah,
definitely
especially.
improve their chances at success in life because at least the government won't be actively giving away all their resources to other people.
Mhm.
Because that's where the real problem lies.
Yeah, I assume that's kind of would be what really pissed a lot of people off. Hispanics like that are here legally, especially I would imagine. They're like, wait, I'm working, and they're just showing up and getting tens of thousands of dollars worth of shit.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be
Fucking
super
jokes.
super displeased with that situation if I were in their shoes. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it seems a pretty fucked up thing to do. God damn it. Yeah, I don't know what kind of sickness is running through our neighborhood here, but everybody seems to be catching it lately.
Oh
Really
yeah, I think I'm
sucks.
getting a cold
Dude, yeah. Well, I've got a
too.
bad cough. It's a really annoying. Like, I actually feel, no, yeah. I can't tell if it's, just that, or if I'm just sick, or if it's also the thing with my gallbladder or whatever that was happening a while back. It
Oh.
was making me vomit fucking like crazy and making me super sick.
Oh, I
'Cause it
forgot about
feels like
that.
that
Yeah.
too. Yeah, it feels like that too. Like I was getting that taste in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but as soon as I get any of those symptoms, like as soon as I feel anything in my stomach at all, a pain or an ache or anything, I immediately start taking the fucking nausea shit. Because that is just, again, the most uncomfortable shit ever. That
Yeah,
that
yeah,
form of
I can
vomiting.
imagine that's not real fucking thrilling to just be throwing up all the time.
Yeah, well, it's not even like the regular vomiting doesn't really bother me that much. I mean, I'd still rather not, obviously. But just the way that one works, where it's so fucking nonstop. Like again, every other time I've ever thrown up, I at least have a couple seconds in between rounds of puking. And with this one, it's just fucking. It starts up like a split second after you're done. You're like, what? Oh fuck! And you're just throwing up for like
Damn.
a minute fucking straight, having trouble breathing. Yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. Very uncomfortable feeling. So
I,
yeah, so as soon as I feel anything in my stomach, I'm taking my nausea pills immediately.
yeah, I can't say I fucking
I
blame you.
do
Like,
not.
holy shit.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's yeah, like I said, normal throwing up again. I don't like it, but it's kind of nice because you usually actually feel better, a little
Yeah,
better
yeah.
after you do.
Once you finished vomiting, like the vomiting is stopped. You're like, oh, now my stomach feels like empty, but it feels like it's no longer just in distress. Like it's not being like the poison is
Yeah,
gone.
yeah.
Like the poison is out, and now it's like a yeah.
Yeah, it was a good chunk of it anyway. Not all of it, obviously,
Yeah, because
usually, but
usually you're throwing up because
yeah,
it's like a virus or it's because of like a bad food or something like that. And so it's like there was a
yeah,
lot of like your stomach is swollen and unpleasant. You know, like but prior to the vomiting, there's a lot of unpleasant feeling in your stomach prior. So but yeah, that's usually all gone.
yeah. But yeah, on that one, man, yeah, whatever the fuck is going on with it, everything around it's unpleasant. It doesn't get any better after you throw up.
Oh man.
It just sucks. Yeah. Ugh. Although I was supposed to do a follow-up appointment, uh, because apparently it's been 6 months since that last time when actually went to the doctor, and I uh, had an appointment for a follow-up that I didn't remember making, and I was like, shit, it's been that long? Because I never went back in to do any of the testing that I was supposed to get done.
Oh,
'Cause,
dude, what the fuck? Why would you not go back in for the testing?
uh, yeah, it's fucking. Turns out I'm very easily distracted. Plus, I don't have my own vehicle, so I have to fucking like
Oh, I thought you
plan
had a
everything out
van.
with people.
I thought you had a
No,
van.
no, the truck. That's about it.
Okay. Fun times. Yeah, getting rides from people is a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah. I'm very hesitant to do that. I just had to do it for the random drug test at the doctor for my Suboxone or whatever.
Oh
So that
yeah.
sucks. Yeah. But at least I know I'm good for a few months now. Forget how long it is exactly, but I think they only do it like every 6 months. So I should be good for a few months. But yeah,
Good
that
for a
sucks
couple
because
months,
if
it's
the
not
ex
too
didn't
bad.
get called for hers, then yeah, I've got to like borrow my sister's car or something. And I really don't like doing that if I don't have to. Or I got to have my son bring me up or something.
Huh.
So
Alright.
yeah, the doctor's thing, I was just like, I don't, yeah, I'm like, it's not an emergency anymore, I guess. So I'll just not bother anybody with it.
Doctor's like, well, I guess you just
Weirdo.
don't care if you're dying, so I guess I'm not going to worry about it.
All right. Yeah, I'd probably have to agree with him. That is pretty accurate. I don't mind dying. I just don't want to suffer like in the meantime. That's really the reason I go in. I'm like, oh, okay, this is happening like regularly now. So, like I said, I'm not interested really in prolonging my existence, but if I'm going to be living and experiencing this shit, I'd rather not do that.
Yeah, like, while I'm existing, I don't want to deal with this nonsense, but...
Yeah. Yeah, if it's just my regular discomfort that I'm used to, it's fine. You know, the back pain and the other shit. But you start adding new shit like that to it, it's quite unpleasant. Because I think the last time it was like only a month between incidents. So I'm like, dude, no, this is fucked up enough that if this is going to be a monthly thing, I will absolutely go to the doctor. But then he was like, yeah, it's mainly, make sure you stay hydrated, that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I've just been making sure I stay hydrated. No, you're going to...
Has that actually resolved it? Like, that's actually not too bad. I mean, if it, if
Yeah,
it's
for the
like,
most
well,
part, yeah.
fucking as long as I drink enough water, I don't have any problems, then fuck it, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's just that, but apparently that is definitely a big chunk of it. So, yeah, it's definitely, yeah, that's the other thing I do as soon as I start getting that feeling coming on. Start make sure I'm drinking water again. Because I'll forget that. I'll forget that pretty quickly, unfortunately. As well.
You're like, as soon as that becomes inconvenient, fuck it, I'm out.
If it involves me remembering to do something, yeah, it's not a good,
Oh, yeah?
not a good sign. Indeed.
Oh, man. Yeah, there was like tidal wave warnings and shit, too. My phone, like, flashed it.
Are you that close to the ocean where a tidal wave
No,
could reach
I'm
where you're
not
at?
anywhere. I'm not anywhere near close enough. It's like an hour-long drive to get out to the coast from here. We're more than fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
If there was a chance
Well.
that there was a fucking tidal wave that was gonna take me out, there's no way I'd still be here. My mom would have dragged me like somewhere else by now.
Up into the mountains.
Yeah. But like we're even high enough in the city I live in that we almost never get any flooding of any kind here, even when there is flooding. So, like we're really well isolated from a lot of the really negative potential side effects of being in this area, like California or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I know between your place and Point Arena, where we went last summer or whatever, it's definitely, it gets pretty fucking hilly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's not. You don't have to go very far to
Yeah, it gets way
to
up in
start getting into
elevation.
what do you call it? Oh, why is my brain? Oh, my brain's fine. I'm not been getting good sleep, and then I was just ready to fall asleep for a nap earlier today when I got dragged out of bed because of the fucking earthquake that was nowhere near us.
Right.
So my brain is a little slow. essentially, like, I think that the city I'm in is like a little bit raised above all the areas around it, except for maybe Petaluma. Petaluma might be actually higher than us. So, like, we almost never get any flooding other than, like, streets that get backed up because, like, the storm drains weren't, like, properly flowing or something.
Gotcha. So you're kind of close enough to all the shit, the areas.
Exactly. We have, like, the benefit of being... we can drive to the beach, we can drive to, like, the forest, we can drive to, like, the valley and stuff like that, like, wherever we want to get to fairly easily. But there's very little in the way of, like, risk to us, really.
Yeah. Yeah, just far enough away. Be pretty much very, very safe.
Yep. Exactly, it is a very safe area we're in.
I guess the Mudahar guy from Some Ordinary Gamers came out with a video about his sandpiper.
Yeah, there was like some weird stuff I was seeing with that, because the actual Justice Warrior guy came out with some stuff too, where like Chunk was like calling him out or something, or I didn't look at it because I was just like, ooh, drama, 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 no, thanks, I'll pass. You know, like.
Oh, I think that was some kind of weird Thanksgiving thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because Hassan's a fucking idiot. He's very misinformed. He's very stupid.
Well, but apparently,
but
like Chunk did a whole thing basically fucking calling him out for a lot of his bullshit. So, I guess from the video titles I saw.
Right.
So I wonder if this is like more fallout from that, you know, where like they're going at each other.
Yeah, I don't think so, but yeah, it is kind of pointless because again, Hassan is just gonna not engage with the actual fucking like the true shit that people are saying about him.
Yeah. Oh,
He's very good at creating fake straw man and defeating them.
Yeah.
And his audience, the type of audience that he's cultivated, is not the most inquisitive bunch.
Yeah, not the smartest people.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they're very stupid and they're very, very credulous. So, good for, good idea on his part. Same thing with Destiny or fucking Bausch. Destiny and his, stuff that got leaked.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy. First of all, Lauren Southern, fuck, your standards are low.
Yeah, what
like,
the fuck?
Holy shit, those are some low fucking standards, because Destiny is not a fucking attractive dude at all. Like, I don't understand why anyone...
I also think he's super smart.
Like he's dumb as fucking rocks. He's mean.
Yeah, he's really good mean. At debate.
He has clearly one of the most misogynistic attitudes I've ever fucking heard. And it's just like,
it's
really?
very odd.
Like, that was your choice, Lauren Southern? You could have literally gone after any number of dudes on or offline, and you went the misogynistic asshole that just like fucking has no redeeming qualities of any kind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, very odd. But again, I guess he was
willing to suck cum out of her asshole, so like, you know.
Yeah.
That's hard to beat, you know.
For somebody like Lauren Southern?
You know, there are a lot of people that are going to do that, I don't think. God, I hope not. Dude, that sounds fucking gross.
Yeah, that's the other thing, because like the President Sunday guy, he's a dumbass leftist, but he's like the only one of the very few that I actually kind of like, even though he's an idiot as far as his other shit. But he's like, because like a lot of Destiny people are like, oh, so you're making fun of him for being gay or bisexual? And you're like, no. That kind of shit is fucking degenerate, fucking gross
That has
bullshit.
nothing to do with being gay. Like, this is, or being bi at
Yeah.
all. And
That is
everything to do
some
with
sick
being
shit.
just
And
disgusting, dude. Like, I'm
yeah,
sorry, that's gross.
yeah,
That's like those people that like to pee
yeah,
on each
especially
other,
for,
or like piss on or shit on each other and
yeah,
stuff. It's like, no, I'm not making fun
yeah,
of them because
yeah. And
of,
if you
like,
imagine,
I'm making fun of them because that's gross.
yeah, yeah, and well, not even that. Okay, that's definitely a big part of it too. But also, like, think of all the people that he's fucked, men, women, whatever, that had no idea that they were doing that kind of shit. Like, I wouldn't want to even kiss a person that had done any of that shit. Like, you've got to
I
be
wouldn't want to
fucking.
hug a person. I don't fucking,
Yeah, yeah.
let alone
That's
put
what
my
I'm
mouth
saying.
into her
Like,
fucking near. You know what
so
I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
man, that's like,
yeah. So again, so yeah, I assume he wanted all that kept hidden because again, it would take a lot more people out of potential sex partnership
yeah, oh, yeah. There's a
if
lot
they
of
knew
people
all
who would
that
be
shit was
like, well,
happening
I'm
before
never gonna
now.
fucking bang Destiny now. Hell with that shit. That's gross. I'll
Mm-hmm.
pass.
Yeah,
You know, the thing is, I guess it just, the fame
yeah,
is
yeah.
fucking
So again,
does
it's
it for
definitely
people, man. There's so many
him
people that are
being
just,
actually gay or bi.
so many people are just willing to do whatever it takes to get with somebody that's famous. Like there's some sort of benefit of it or something. Like you're, I don't know. Like they think it makes you a better person. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, Lauren Southern, nobody ever accused her of being particularly intelligent, I don't think.
Oh no, that's
So that one makes sense, that she's stupid enough. Yeah, yeah. I just take the opportunity to remind everybody that she's got a sister that's actually hot.
yeah. Lauren's not the hottest. That's true.
Because, I mean, Lauren,
She's like she's
yeah,
Canadian
she's not,
hot.
I mean, she's not ugly. Yeah, she's not ugly, but
Yeah,
she's not
she's
particularly
Canadian hot.
attractive. But goddamn. Yeah, yeah, but her sister is just straight up hot.
Yeah, and Lauren is like a Canadian 10.
Right.
I'm glad Samaj isn't here to like fucking
Yeah.
dress us down for
Right.
this particular
Well,
section
like,
of commentary. But you
Yeah.
know,
What he means officially is like /Wisconsin 10, not Canadian 10. Even though they're the exact same
sure,
thing.
whatever you want to tell people to make them feel better about their Canadian people. No, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, yeah, there's similar level of unattractiveness in those states as there is in
Oh
Canada.
yeah,
is what I'm saying.
yeah. Well, and I am being kind of facetious, so.
Yeah.
That whole situation though is very bizarre. I mean, I kind of just, I don't know. Like a part of me is just like, who fucking cares what any of them do, other than just like to make fun of them for whatever weird, creepy, gross shit they get into.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the really fucked up thing about all that is the fact that like Destiny, for whatever fucking reason, doesn't seem to think he can get chicks to fuck him without having proof that other chicks have fucked him or something.
Oh,
So it
like
has
he
to
needs like
send all these
a fucking
porn.
like a people are fucking
All right. Yeah,
like
because
a
all this
reference
came
or
out
something.
because he
Like
sent.
you got to get a reference letter from like the last chick he was with or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he filmed other shit and he sent it out to this bitch,
I
and
mean,
whoever this bitch is.
There's
Was
chicks out there
finally,
that'll
let
bang
it out.
people just because like they haven't banged people in a while.
Yeah, it's very odd, dude.
Yeah, there's weird little like hang-ups that a lot of these people, like a lot of these women and stuff have that just don't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very odd. Like this bitch is just some random fucking I don't know, moderately attractive fucking goth chick or something. Like, hey, you want to fuck? Look, I got this video of me fucking this other chick. She's pretty hot. She fucked me. So
I had a friend of mine that some lady that was married tried to fucking get him to fuck her by showing a tape of her and her husband fucking.
What the fuck is that? I've never even thought of doing shit like that. It's fucking weird.
Right? And she thought it would
Dude.
be great because like while they were banging, he popped and he was on his back and it fucking went in his mouth. And she thought that was like such a cool thing to show. Like, number one, he wanted to see it, and number two, that was gonna make him like into her.
Right, yeah.
I think it was to make fun of him, so like he would, like she wanted to make fun of him was part of the what got her
Make
off.
fun of her husband? Her husband or the guy that she was trying to get?
No, to the guy she was banging behind her husband's back. I think she wanted to like also denigrate her husband at the same time. Kind of like the way he was describing the story. It was like part of why she got off was that she was, shitting on her own husband at the same time.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I just wasn't sure if you also meant the guy she was fucking, cheating on her husband with or something.
Well, she wanted
like
to. He didn't fucking.
Oh, he didn't. Okay.
No.
Okay.
He was a smart guy. He was a smart boy. He was like, I'm not getting involved in somebody else's relationship. It's hard enough having my own relationships. Fuck off. He was a smart boy. He was one of those people who like he had more experience than I did just in general, like in life. And I learned a lot of things at the right age where I was actually willing to listen to somebody who was older and had been through crazy shit. That was one of the guys who gave me like that opinion of if she'll cheat with you, she'll cheat on you.
Yeah.
And so it was like, oh yeah, and then he's talking about this. Oh wow, and she did that. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for this wisdom, great one. I think he was only like 8 years older than me. Like it's not a huge difference, but it was just like. Oh.
He'd been through some shit already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He'd fucking dealt with some shit. He was one of the. He has one of the best story. He had one of the best stories about like chicks get fucking weird, crazy chicks. Well, are there any chicks that aren't crazy? Some ladies like to try to get people to fight over them. Right?
Oh,
like
Jesus,
you've dealt with that, right? Well, so he was dealing with this one particularly lunatic bitch that he was dating when he lived in L.A. And she was absolutely out of her mind, and she started cheating with some guy, and she managed to convince this moron to fucking go over to like fight my friend when he was living there with her, right? So he shows up at the door and he's like, I hear you've been treating her real bad and blah, blah, blah. And why don't you step outside? And he's like, you know what? You can have her. He's like, yeah, it's totally fine, man. Sure. If you're into her and she's into you, she's all yours, man. I'm not gonna get in your way. I'm not gonna try to stop it. It's all good. You can have her, man. It's all yours.
Yeah. If she's that miserable, take her. Make her happy.
I don't want her to be unhappy. It's all good. And my blessing. Yeah. And the guy was like, "Oh wow, well that's really cool of you. I guess goodbye." And then fucking an hour later, she was screaming at the fucking door because that was not a way to make her happy.
Yeah, that's not what you wanted. That was not what you wanted.
No, that is the opposite of what she was hoping for.
Did he take her back after that?
I think he did. He'd made a lot of mistakes. Like he was one of those people who's like, here are these dumb shit fucking mistakes I've made. I've made these dumb shit fucking mistakes in my life, and here's what happened when I did, and these are funny stories. Like he would have made a good comedian.
Yeah, or some kind of one-man show or something, yeah.
Yeah, he would have made a very good comedian in that respect, because, like, he was very good at, like, yeah, that was my fault. But it was also nice because he was kind enough to share these stories, partially just because, you tell friends stories and stuff. But also, like, I was willing to take on board that wisdom. So that was kind of nice. Sadly, he went fucking wonky after he had a kid. He kind of like flipped out and like did like the whole like I have to change my whole life. My whole life has to change entirely because I have a child now. Like I can't be the cool guy that like plays guitar and smokes weed occasionally. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
you
always
just can't
there.
smoke weed all the fucking time. Like it's not that really that big of a deal,
Yeah.
bro. Like you can still play guitar, you can still
Yeah.
hang out, you can still swear occasionally. Like he went to the point of not swearing, but like his father was like a heavy duty Mormon guy, and he'd like had to deal with weird shit from like the Mormon church for almost all of his life. So I think it just fucking his brain just fucking glitched out when he had a kid, and he didn't want to like raise his kid wrong or something like that, and it was an unfortunate, like sort of like a weird unfortunate thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's harder to break like how you were raised, how you're going to parent. It's harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Avoid the. But I was like, I'll never do that. Like, yeah, it's not easy, because that is kind of imprinted on you.
Oh yeah. Like it's heavy duty. Like it's just one of those unfortunate things that like it's damn near impossible to beat that programming.
Yeah, well, it's not that hard. It's hard. It's just harder than I thought it would be, man. Because I wanted to be like, not be all fucking angry and flip out over everything the way my dad did. And I didn't, but it took a lot of fucking discipline because that was my instinct.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
So yeah, I could. I didn't do it, or not a couple times probably, but yeah, for the most part I didn't. But it was still kind of what I, was programmed to do. Yeah. So like I said, it's I did not expect to have that much difficulty avoiding doing the shit that is not helpful to anyone as far as parenting goes.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough when you're imprinted on at an early age of like raging out or like, cause what is it they say? Your family is the best at pushing your buttons because they fucking installed them all.
Right. Indeed.
Yeah, I find myself, acting like my dad or my mom at inopportune times, where it's not really the best choice.
Yep.
Like especially if I'm tired. And as far as I understand, once you get yourself a kid, that's kind of when you get just fucking exhausted all the goddamn time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not all the time, but yeah, it definitely wears you down.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm being obviously. I'm not being. What do you call it?
Yeah, it's not an absolute thing either way. Yeah.
It's not. I'm being. What do you call it? Where you're like exaggerating for the sake of like brevity. There's like a term for it. I can't think of the word.
Yeah, I don't know. Facetious. Maybe, I don't know. Hyperbolic.
Hyperbolic. Yeah. Where I'm like, I'm exaggerating it for the sake of like the point, not really dead serious.
Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what other stories are going on.
Well, the Biden pardoning his son.
Oh,
Shocking.
yeah, that one kind of was not at all surprising.
Yeah. You know what I thought was weird? When he originally said he wasn't going to do that, like there were so many fucking leftist idiots that went in so hard about it, about how fucking wonderful he is for doing that, right? And I'm like, you didn't really have to do that. You didn't have to virtue signal about that. You could have just commented and been like, oh, okay, that's good. But they went so hard for it. And talking about what a fucking super wonderful guy he was.
He immediately pardoned his son as soon as it was politically no longer a political issue. And that's exactly what I kind
Yeah.
of figured was going to happen. Because, like, if his son was going down, there's no like, you can't imagine. At least I can't imagine that there's any real loyalty there, or any kind of love at all between the two of them. That it's not like at this point just a financial thing.
Yeah.
So like, there's no reason his kid wouldn't have
I would imagine he was
ratted him out for
covering
less
his own
time,
ass.
you know?
Turned on him. Yeah. So I think it was more self preservation than any actual.
Although there's a lot of
son.
question as to whether or not that pardon is legal. And it's not about questioning whether the president can write a pardon, which is what a lot of retards say from the left when people talk about it. It's because it's not a specific pardon.
Right.
Normally, when somebody gets pardoned, it is in every single
it's just
other
a
pardon
specific
historically
pardon.
ever written by anybody for any reason. You're pardoning them of a specific offense. Like, you are pardoned of this specific crime. He wrote like anything he might have done for like this period of 10 years that may or may not have been illegal, blah 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not how pardons work. You can't just give somebody a blanket pardon for like a 10-year period of time. So like that may not actually be legal. Like he may have to redo it, or that may end up getting thrown out.
Although the Nixon pardon by Ford was kind of like that, right? Like future possible fucking.
Maybe that is the other one. Okay, maybe there is one other one then. But that's usually like that's not how it's supposed to work. That's not how pardons work. And the Nixon one never got tested in court, so that's really not much of a. What do you call it? Like
it's tough to know.
Precedent. It's not a precedent of any kind because no one ever said, hey. You can't just pardon somebody for like random like shit for a period of time. Like that's not how pardons work.
I'm pardoning this guy in advance. He's not been charged with anything, but I'm pardoning him now for anything he might possibly.
Well, and it's still not entirely what Biden did with his kid. So his kid has been pardoned for a period of 10 years that have already happened. So presumably, if there are any crimes that were committed in that period, like they're he knows about them. It's just very bizarre. Like it's not how pardons are supposed to be written. I think Hunter's not going to go to jail.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Like I don't think if the even if they overturn it, he'll see the inside of a prison. I never thought that was going to be the case.
Yeah. I don't think anybody is remotely surprised. But yeah, that's why it was like, because they're replaying, obviously, the shit the fucking leftist idiots said back when he initially said he wasn't going to pardon them. And I'm like, you guys went way harder than you had to. You went way too hard praising the guy for it. And how did you not know? Like, did you really not know that was what's going to happen?
Yeah. I like Whoopi trying to make it sound like like trying to redefine the word lie so that it means something else, so that it doesn't sound like he's a fucking like that he basically committed a horrible crime. I was just like, that shit's hilarious to me. It's like, are you fucking serious? Like, Whoopi, you sound like well, I suppose if anybody wants to make something that's a very obvious lie sound like it's not a lie, it would be Whoopi,
Right. Yeah, she's definitely, I don't know how badly she needs the money or whatever.
Well, after she did that cafe dirty, she did that cafe dirty, man.
Yeah.
It's like, well, clearly you don't understand what the difference is between the lie and the truth, because you wouldn't have done that cafe so dirty if you did.
Yeah, that was fucking retarded. So yeah, she's gonna be remembered by a few people that still watch The View for whatever fucking reason, fondly, but the rest of us are like, wow, you're a fucking idiot and very morally inconsistent.
Yeah, I'll still get a kick out of Sister Act when I watch it, or The Color Purple or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Beyond
still
that,
enjoy
mostly what
that.
I'm going to remember
Yeah, it's
is
too
her being a
bad.
dumb cunt on The View.
It's too bad. Too bad. Too bad. So sad. You ruined your fucking your legacy. Now people are gonna be like, well, that's a fucking psycho.
Yeah, or Sonny Austin, that fucking bitch on The View. Dude, it's so fucking funny watching her after to fucking bullshit she fucking spewed.
Oh
From
yeah.
well, the first one was Matt Gaetz. There was another one more recently. But yeah, it's so funny because it's literally it's very much hostage, gun to the head, just off camera, fucking energy when she's
Oh
reading them, dude. It's fucking hilarious, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, and so she
I don't
seems
know.
so fucking pissed, and I kind of get it because, again, she's been a good establishment stooge for so long. Like, why is she having to do this now? Um, like she's been able to spout bullshit for fucking decades, or not decades, but years, with no fucking pushback. Like, why is she? I can imagine. I don't feel sorry for her, but I do understand why she might be like, "What the fuck? This is the same shit I've been doing for years now. What's the problem now?
Oh
Why do I
yeah,
have
because
to
people are
apologize
finally
now?"
getting. Yeah, people are finally waking up and being like, I don't
Yeah, we're
fucking
all
want
tired
to
of this
see this
fucking.
shit anymore. I'm getting tired of this bullshit, and I don't buy it anymore. I don't believe this nonsense.
Yeah, like you
Is
can't be this fucking reckless without correcting it.
yeah. Well, and the thing is like, why were you? Why did you feel the need to try to shut this business down, even if they didn't want to sell you shit because of your politics or whatever? Uh, and why did you think making it a public thing would somehow help that? Like, because also if you think about it, like, um, giving them any sort of press just doesn't really make any sense if you want to like, what do you call it?
Yeah, I think she
If you
just
want them to
wanted to
fail,
explore points with
because
her
they're,
audience.
the more people that know about them, the less likely it's gonna be that they fail.
Yeah, that was definitely a weird one. Like, it's so easily refuted by them.
Yeah, it would have been easier just to never say anything about them and let them like pass into some form of like, like nobody knows who they are kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if she was legitimately that mad.
Yeah, it would have made way more sense to just never say anything about them and let them sort of fade into like some form of what do you call it? To just like not give them the press, because any kind of press is good press. Like any sort of attention is good attention at this point in time. Really, it's extremely unlikely that they're not going to benefit from being well known, because like all the people that are conservative are going to now want to go there, and like that kind of shit. Like,
Mm-hmm. I can't believe that Hakua bitch has like the third highest.
people like watching
Watch,
train wrecks, man. I think that's what it comes down to with that. Is they just
Yeah, I
want
just
to
hope that one
see. They
doesn't.
just want to see her fail.
Mhm. I guess she's only behind Rogan and fucking Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, yeah. Well, at least Rogan and Tucker Carlson are ahead of her. Can you imagine if they were behind her? That'd be fucking sad.
Yeah.
Sad and fucking disturbing.
Yeah, I guess it can always be worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope she fades relatively quickly. What the fuck?
Well, I mean, after this, I think she's probably going to lose a lot of the audience, because I'm sure a lot of the audience is going to be like, you're a fucking bitch. You ripped me off, You stole my fucking money. Like, why would I want to fucking put up with you? What are you going to do about that? Are you going to give money back to people that you ripped off? Are you going to... I wonder if there's the potential that she's dumb enough that they didn't really properly get everything set up for the fucking rug pull. So it's entirely possible that, you know... Yeah, like, she hasn't admitted it, but like, it's entirely possible that there's enough evidence that they could potentially put her in jail for it, I guess. Some people are speculating. So, like,
yeah,
who knows, you know...
I also appreciate how
we can
she
hope...
made anywhere near as much money as the people that set it up. Like, I'm sure she benefited, but I don't think she was the main beneficiary of the rug pull.
Oh, I'm sure somebody else made way more money than her. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be really surprising to find differently. Yeah, that would actually be quite the shock if she was the one who made the most money out of that. Like, I can understand if Logan Paul makes the most money out of a rug pull because he's really good at fucking ripping people off. Like,
yeah,
that's his fucking jam. You know, he does that all the time.
Yeah, for her, I think she's too dumb, and she took a very small cut of what was made, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Without realizing it, of course.
Still love to see her in prison, though.
Yeah, that would be nice. Not hold my breath for it, but yes, that would be nice.
Yeah, no, not holding my breath for that one. Jesus, no. Yeah, that would be a foolish one to hold your breath for because you just die.
Yeah. It ain't happening. Yeah. Well, this one again, they said it might be like they did set it up a little differently. It sounds like than most other rug pulls. Like which I assume means it's like even more blatant. So
yeah,
maybe something you do get busted.
It sounds like it was a really obvious one. Like the number of people who are like, "How did you not see this coming?" is extremely high. So maybe if we're lucky, she goes to prison. Maybe it does happen. Maybe it was way too obvious of a rug pull or something. And
yeah, all the people that set it up, I'd rather see them. I'd make her to go too, but I'd rather the people that, because again, it's all the same people that are setting all these up. Fucking idiots.
I think the odds of her going alone, if she is going to go, is extremely low.
Yeah.
I think what would happen is they would confront her if she's not the one that set it up, if she's not that person. And I don't know if she is or isn't. I mean, who knows? It's not, you know. She may not be as dumb as she looks or sounds, which I mean, probably is as dumb as she looks or sounds, but there's always the possibility she's not. But if she's just somebody who happened to get swept up along for the ride to make a little bit of money off it, thinking it was all legit, you know, odds are she fucking rats them out and escapes with very little to no jail time of any kind.
Yeah, most likely, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's a good, like I said, it's a good possibility that she didn't realize how badly they were ripping people off or something like that. But yeah, there's no way you don't know by now. If you've been on the internet at all, it should be very obvious what any of these crypto shitcoins are and how they operate.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, because I heard like some guy complaining. He's like, "Yeah, I put in like 1.4 million, and now I only have like 5,000." You're a fucking idiot. Like, you deserve to lose your money. I don't feel sorry for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, the people that were basically trying to scam everyone else and hoping that they would be able to get out and beat the rug pull. Yeah, I don't have a lot of sympathy for them. Not a lot of sympathy.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a lot of really stupid people who just kind of got caught up in it and end up just losing like their savings and stuff. Because like for me, for instance, I don't know about you or anyone else, but I always try to have at least like $500 in my savings account. You know what I mean? Like just as a general rule, I think it's a good idea to have, you know, around $500 to $1,000 in savings if you can. Not everybody has that option, I suppose.
For sure.
But at the bare minimum, I keep $500 in my savings account if at all possible. So if I were to
Yeah.
like try to invest in something, like if I were a real fucking dumb motherfucker, like I could put my $500 into whatever it was. Like, oh, I just saw this hot coin. I gotta fucking go invest right now. I'm gonna go put my $500 in. So I'm sure there's people like that who had like money in savings or got like a big fat paycheck one time and put like $400 or $500 in there. You know, a lot of the people that are losing their money are probably those people. The really shisty ones are probably like what 10-20% of the people, the number of people. They probably did the most investing.
Right.
But
Yeah,
like,
well, there's
you
a bunch of trading that they do before it's public, which helps inflate the value and all that. And they're essentially just buying each other's shit. They're not actually, you know what I mean? Like, then it's got this inflated value at the actual launch for everyone else. So yeah, it's a very odd. That's what I'm saying. It's so rigged that I don't understand how people don't get arrested for doing it, because it seems like a huge, like it should be a huge SEC
I think
violation.
by calling it cryptocurrency and setting up all of the foundation and everything that runs it in another country, in the Cayman Islands. That's how they're avoiding the U.S. laws regarding it, even though all of the business is being done in the U.S. So realistically, none of that should protect you in any way from the law. But it does,
right.
I guess.
Yeah. Or maybe that makes it impossible to trace the transactions or something.
Oh, maybe they can't get the evidence. Like they can't get the evidence to prove that it all happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If they're just operating off of like VPNs, setting everything up in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
I've never looked that up. Why the fuck it's always the Cayman Islands? But I have to assume it's just a thing where they're just incredibly.
The Cayman Islands is notorious. I don't know why they're this way. They're notorious.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying.
They
will not cooperate with the United States. They will not give them any banking information or access to anybody's accounts. They will not extradite people.
Yeah, that's what.
And it's essentially all the wealthy people have used it for so long now that they're sort of like really well protected.
Yeah,
because like if you're wealthy and you've got a bunch of money there, and somebody else is wealthy and they've got a bunch of money there, and all these wealthy people have their money there, you know, if the U.S. starts poking around, all these wealthy people start talking to politicians. They're like, you better fucking knock it off, motherfucker. Yeah, this shit ends today. You don't fucking go anywhere near my money or all of our money. And it's like, you know, so like it's just sort of, they're untouchable because they have so much influence. I'm sure there's other reasons that it started that way, but I think that's what it is at this point. Somebody probably. We don't have any viewers, but if we had any viewers, I'm sure somebody would tell me how stupid and wrong I am. So.
Well. We'll have to worry about that kind of thing.
You know, as a disclaimer, I obviously don't know for a fact or anything like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a shady version of the Delaware for incorporation purposes thing.
Yeah.
It's like a shady version of that, although even that's kind of shady. But yeah, Delaware just has the most simplest laws or whatever for creating a corporation. That's why almost all corporations are created in Delaware.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
So I'm thinking like Cayman Islands, again, probably doesn't have any extradition, isn't sharing the shit, and the laws governing any of that shit in the Cayman Islands are probably all but non-existent.
I would imagine you basically just bribe the correct official and everything's fine, and you know, there's like a scale, you know, like you're running a crypto dump, all right, well the standard bribe is like, you know, $100,000 for every $1 million that you make. You know, you're giving us 10% of whatever you make, and we'll fucking make sure that you get to keep your money. It's probably something like that.
Yeah.
Probably not that easy and simple, but in a very complicated fashion. It's probably something like that.
Yeah, probably a bunch of shit.
Yeah, there's probably like a lot of extra like steps and stuff involved. Like I doubt it's like that straightforward. Like they probably don't say like, oh yeah, as long as you give us this bribe, you're fine. They're probably like, Yeah, our fee is X amount of money for this, you know, blah, blah, blah. And this is our tax for this and all the other things. Like most governments when they're stealing from you. They gotta have fees and taxes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I was looking up the Delaware thing just to see, because it's obviously not just the simplicity, but yeah, let's see. Limited liability protection. Delaware corporations provide limited liability protection for their owners and managers. Low corporate taxes. So the corporate tax rate's 8.7% in Delaware, which is lower than everywhere else. For privacy, Delaware doesn't require companies to disclose the names of their directors and officers in public filings. Okay, that's a little weird. Usury laws give banks and credit card companies the freedom to charge high interest rates on loans. I love the last part, which appeals to financial firms. Well, thank you. I'm glad you told me that.
I would never have guessed on my own if you hadn't said so.
Yeah, really? You think financial firms would find that to be a good thing? Okay, thanks. As I was reading, I'm like, why are they saying that? You could have just stopped right there at like they can charge whatever they want on loans, basically. Yeah, I would. I think most people could figure out that would appeal to financial firms.
Yeah, I think that's incredibly self-evident.
Truly, goes without saying. But not for this website. Ah, damn. But yeah, that's some of it, apparently. That's a good chunk of the reasons. But I remember, like, the law or whatever that's written for, like, corporation development is, like, a sentence or two long. You know what I mean? Like, it gets pretty complicated anywhere else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
laws in general are too fucking complicated, man, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very odd. They feel the need to use, like, there's a term for it. You know what I mean? Like, legalese. It was something that was invented to describe the unnecessary long and fucking drawn out language.
Yeah, exactly.
Within fucking do with the legal shit.
100% agree on that one for sure.
So it's like, dude, just write it. It's fucking simplest way to explain the whole thing, the most easily understood way possible. Like, that should be a law, actually. That would be a nice law. Like, no, quit trying to make shit fucking confusing. So you have to, like, do some kind of weird sentence diagramming of every sentence in 500-page document to figure out what the fuck it's saying.
Oh, yeah. Would be very nice. I think that they should do it like the same way they the same way they do newspapers. So, like, there's no law about how you write newspapers. However, the standard practice is that they're written to a standard that any fifth grader can understand easily.
Right.
And I think the laws should be the same. I think that they should be to the point where anybody who's graduated from grade school can understand and read, like, comprehend and read these laws, no question. Like, just super easy. Because I honestly think any other anything else is like you're doing it to fuck people over. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's really not a lot of question as to what your goal is if you don't want it to be easily understood by everyone.
Yeah, and I guess more than actual legislation and laws and shit, it's more contracts that get into that kind of bullshit, right?
Yeah.
As far as, yeah.
Well, I think criminal laws,
I
don't think there's any reason you can't have criminal and financial and civil laws that are all very easy to understand. I think.
Yeah. No, I think they don't. I think, said most of that kind of shit is in contract, where that legally shit really pops its ugly little head up the most.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be nice if it was just codified as. Because I remember Jason from Film Cow, the guy that did Charlie the Unicorn and fucking Llamas with Hats or whatever, was talking about how
Okay.
he was doing, he was talking about doing some show or basically it was had been approached by like Cartoon Network or some show or whatever, some channel years ago about doing something, and basically like he was talking about how like the first line will be like, oh yes, and you will retain all full creative control and full ownership of whatever you create, and then he's like, yeah, and then over the next 3 or 4 lines it will basically make it very clear that none of that is true.
Oh yeah. Like,
And that
you'll retain the
have
control,
of
except
it.
in the case of, except in the case of, except in the case of.
Yeah.
And then you have no control over any of it anymore, ever again.
Yeah. So that's the kind of shit. It's like, why bother even saying it when you're patently not true? You know what I mean? Like, it's so
you
weird.
knew you were going to come back and undo this thing 100% right afterwards. Like,
yeah, and it was like
on.
a few sentences later. Like, it's not even like they hit it in the fucking print. You know what I mean? Like, literally, like, backtracking on it almost immediately. Like, why bother putting it in there? So fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is our whole system is so screwed up because, like, I mean, essentially, like, our financial institutions have set up like a whole legal form of gambling for like rich people.
Yeah. I think it's really fucked up how they they're allowed to, like, with the stocks and shit, they're allowed to use like computer software to get shit purchased or sold within like fucking fractions of a fraction of a second, like at opening or closing, whatever, to where they're set up to, buy or sell shit to automatically make money. Like, there's no way to lose. Like, I feel like there should never be anything that they're allowed to do where there's no way to lose. Like, that they're going to make money and somebody else is going to lose money because of it. Whether it's a person or a corporation that's losing it, I don't really care. But yeah, like, they set that shit up to where they're, again, so insanely quick that no human can possibly do it that quickly. Again, there's just no way to not win. So I think anything that's 100% certain like that should not be allowed.
Oh yeah. That whole step.
Whatever the cause is. Yeah, if it's impossible for you to lose in that kind of situation, I feel like it should be not allowed to be done. But yeah, no, we got really fast software.
Well, the thing is, the only people that can lose are the plebs, the people like us who invest, like people they're putting their retirement in, or like that's okay for them to lose because they don't matter.
Yeah, they're the public.
Fuck those
civilians.
People. Fuck those people. What are you talking about? Fuck them. Those fucking losers like us. Why should we have a chance to make money? Why should they have chances like the rest of us poor shitty garbage people? Like, we don't fucking count.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, like I don't like the short selling thing either, but in case there is a possibility that you're going to lose. Kind of like how they did, how the 4chan or whoever, I don't know if it was 4chan, but somebody like that basically found out that people were doing the short selling on GameStop stock, and they started buying the hell out of it because, again, if you're short selling something, you're basically betting on it to lose money over a period of time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really odd thing, and I don't know why it exists. But yeah, you're basically saying, okay, I'm buying it 3 weeks from now and selling it today. So, why is that? No, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can you fucking do that? Why is that an option? I'm buying it 3 weeks from now and I'm selling it today.
The only reason it's an option is because corrupt people get paid money for it.
Yeah.
So politicians have taken bribes and corrupt people have figured out how to make lots and lots of money off it, usually at the cost of people like you and I that are investing, like the people that you know don't have the money to lose.
Yeah.
You know, they rip off and steal a bunch of people's fucking, you know, what do you call it, retirement funds, but then they get, you know, all this other good shit in return. So who cares? You know, those people just get fucked, and there's nothing they can do because they're, you know, they're poor people. They have no way of coming back and getting any sort of like getting any of their own back.
That one was unfortunate. Yeah, that one with GameStop was pretty funny. Although, dude, all the places like froze it so that nobody could do it. Like they couldn't keep doing it and keep driving the price up.
Yeah, they did. That was shitty. That was really shitty the way they did that.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, fuck you guys. You guys are trying to profit off of misery. Company losing fucking money.
Yeah.
That's essentially going out of business or whatever. So yeah, fuck you. You should be able to be fucked with too. You shouldn't be protected by these fucking assholes.
Yeah, there's no reason that they should not be able to do the exact same thing, except for the fact that, you know, the 4chan people aren't rich, so they don't get to make decisions.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to, and it's really frustrating, man, because you watch it happen over and over and over, and it's just like...
Yeah, the haves and the have-not. The haves are so well protected.
Yeah, they get away with like stealing from the have-nots. Because like the majority, like it's like religion is kind of the purpose of religion too. It's all just designed to keep people from realizing that there are these groups of people, and not everybody who's wealthy is ripping off to people to get where they are. Like just to you know, so somebody's not like, well, you're just mad because you don't have any money, blah blah blah. No. I don't think that everybody who's rich is a scam artist. I just think that it's a vast majority of the group of people based on experience so far in life. But the whole system is designed to steal from the poor, so that these like people can live in these incredible wealth, and then the people that are poor will think that it's their fault.
Right.
And that there's some sort of like, you know, that's why religion exists. Religion exists to make you think like, oh, there's no reason to punish somebody like fucking Bill Gates or what's his name, George Soros, for all the horrible shit they're doing now, because God will do it later.
Yeah, they're like, they'll never get.
Yeah, they
never get,
you know, stole from their employees. They stole from other people. And they've gotten away with it so far. But you know, as long as they're going to burn in hell, it doesn't matter. You don't have to do anything now, because you'll get all that good stuff in the next existence.
Yeah, you'll be the one that comes up in the afterlife.
It's all going to come back to you, just not right away, but it will come back to you. So don't worry about it. Don't stress yourself, man. It's fucking the dumbest shit ever. You know, it's like.
Yeah, it's amazing that people buy into this shit, dude. Yeah,
it's
which again,
sad,
I have no
man.
idea. Yeah, I have no idea if there's an afterlife. It seems, heaven and hell in particular seems unlikely.
As far as Christianity goes, I don't fucking buy into any of that. It's like I don't buy into that, because that's just somebody wrote something because they wanted something that sounded good. You know, they were like, they're afraid to die because, you know, why would you not be afraid of just completely ceasing to exist? It's you know, it makes sense. It's a reasonable thing to be afraid of. You know, like it's a pretty reasonable fear. It's the unknown, which is kind of how fear works.
Right. Yeah. Usually the core issue a lot of times with fear is the unknown quality.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate unknown, really. Like, we know that people just stop working at a certain point, and then they fall down, and then, you know, they don't do anything else ever again. But we don't know if, like, the part that was them that used to be in their body goes somewhere, or does their energy or their personality or something, does any of that get saved or transferred to somewhere else? It doesn't seem like it would, because how would it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I kind of feel like it is, but I don't know. Not really. The older I get, the less likely it seems that there is some kind of soul that's going to live on
It's a great
although it's
fantasy
a nice
if
thought.
you can believe it,
Yeah,
and you believe it, and you think
Yeah,
that,
it
you
definitely
hear what we're
makes it
saying, and
fucking-
you're
yeah,
like, those guys know what the
easy.
fuck they're talking about. Keep believing it. You no reason for you to give
Yeah.
up that belief. It's going to comfort you, and
Yeah,
you're not going to know
yeah.
any different. You're going to die, and you're just going to cease to exist. You'll
Yeah.
never know
Yeah.
that you were wrong
You're
in the
never
first
gonna
place. It's
realize.
never going to be a bad thing. It's never going to be negative
Yeah.
for you. It's a great belief to
Yeah.
have. I wish I could have that belief. I wish I could be that
Yeah,
delusional.
Yeah. No, it seems unlikely, but it's possible, so it's enough. Although I've never really.
My mom firmly believes in the
I
afterlife,
mean,
actually.
Yeah.
She had a dream at some point when she was on an airplane that my grandma was talking to her from the afterlife. So,
Mm.
and it's like, hey, I'm never going to try to
Okay,
disabuse her
that
of
works for you. Yeah, anything that's going to help. Again, I don't recall ever, really any point in my life having any desire to prolong my existence, which is kind of weird, apparently. Like, that's not normal, I guess. Right?
Oh, I would, if there was a way to just keep going forever, I would 100% do it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Like, I would
that's
be the
very
one
odd.
who's like, vampire. I want to be a vampire. Yeah, I'm down. What
Yeah,
you
I
gotta,
don't. Yeah,
there would be no adjustment
actually,
phase of being like, oh, but I feel so bad drinking other people's blood. I'd be like, no, I'm gonna find people that are pretty much trash and just take them out, and I think everybody will be pretty thrilled that they're gone. I'm not gonna have any real
Yeah, I don't know.
fucking.
I kind of like. Yeah, I kind of hope I'm done. To be honest with you, I am the complete opposite. I don't care when, well, not complete opposite, but different.
Well, I think I think there's always new things you can go out and do, like whatever you haven't tried yet. Like go try, go learn something new. Eventually,
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, just I hope. Let's say there is an afterlife. I would hope it was optional. Like I would like to have the ability, just if there is a soul, I would want to just have the opportunity or the choice to just stop being, like even in a spiritual form. I would like to be able to just stop existing.
What if?
At least have the option to stop existing.
What if instead of being able to offer you an ability to stop, like that just wasn't something that could happen for some reason, which obviously that makes no sense. There's always a potential for anything to stop existing. But let's say, like, energy is immutable. Like you can't destroy energy, right? So we're like, what if we're energy and we just keep going some way, somehow, no matter what? Like there's no way out of it, kind of thing. As ridiculous as it may be, what if that was the case? What if instead of being able to stop existing, they could basically just put you in like a prolonged coma? For like, like 1,000 years or something, so you could go through like oblivion for like 1,000 years, maybe like. What if wouldn't that like help in some way? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, where you can be like, all right, check back with me. I want to not know for like 1,000 years. You guys can check back with me. I'll see if I feel like existing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What if that was an option? Would that be
again?
would that be enough to assuage the need to not exist?
And
I'm just asking out of curiosity. I don't know.
I'd still. I'd still rather have the option to just not exist.
Yeah. I can't imagine how that would not be an option. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense that it would ever be like a thing that just couldn't stop.
Yeah.
But it does make sense in a certain respect of like, trying to think of infinity, like trying, like that's such a fucking massive thing. You know what I mean? How existing for infinity would not really be that great. I don't imagine.
Yeah,
at a certain point,
saying.
like you would just become so fucking bored of everything because you'd have seen it over and over and over again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, let's say they say the universe is something billion years old. Or what if you're a spirit? Like again, if we are spirits, what if you're a spirit that has existed now? Like, there's got to be absolutely nothing to fucking interest you. Like, you've seen everything.
Yeah.
Like, anything that's happening anywhere has already happened, almost exactly in most cases, somewhere else already.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
Yeah.
that's one of the guys Rogan had on. Was like, yeah,
Well,
no,
let's say your
like you
lifespan
can't
was,
really
was
know
like a
how
billion
big.
years, right?
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
how quickly would you get sick and tired of repeating the same shit?
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I would think like 1,000 years,
Yeah,
maybe,
you know,
or
you
ten
live in
thousand.
Arizona now. Like you could go live in like China, then you could live in France, then you could live amongst the steppes. You could go move into like some other tribal group of area. Like you could go live in somewhere in Africa and then somewhere in Australia. Like eventually you would have lived in all of the cities. And you would just be like, I
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
fucking live in any of these places anymore. I've been there so many times. I've eaten this fucking restaurant's food a million times. I don't want to fucking go back again. It's just boring. You would think that at some point
yeah.
you
I
would want
think
to
it would.
like put an
Yeah, I would
end
think
to it.
about it. Yeah, I'm not even sure I can make it 1,000, to be honest with you, because that is a long period of time. Yeah, that's the other
Yeah.
thing, man. Because like the time periods like that are very difficult for any of us to truly
Well,
appreciate
when you're
the size
5 years
of
old,
life.
20 years seems like a fucking eternity,
Yeah,
right? And when
yeah,
you're 40, 20
yeah.
years is like nothing.
Hmm. Yeah, I remember noticing it as a kid. Like
Yeah.
kindergarten, first grade seemed to take forever, and then like
Exactly.
second grade suddenly seemed to fly by. Like
Oh,
it
how
was
long
weird
it
how
took
quickly
just to
it
get
accelerated.
from like what do you call it? The first part of the
Monday
day
to
when you
Wednesday.
start class to like when the first break, the first recess from
Oh, right,
like the
right.
bell rings at 8
Yeah,
o'clock, and then like at 10 o'clock or so, there's a recess sometime around 10. I don't remember exactly what the times were, but
yeah, yeah. That's not important, dude.
yeah. So sort of,
Actual time period, but
but like that
yeah, no,
2 hour
those seem
period of
like
time
eternities.
was forever. By the time you're a grown up, like who
Yeah,
fucking cares, right? Like it's like 2 hours is nothing.
yeah,
Yeah. You
yeah,
might
for
have to
sure.
spend 2 hours on a Saturday or on a
Yeah,
Friday
years fly
afternoon
by
at the
much.
fucking what do you call it, at the fucking DMV just to get like your registration done or something stupid,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. At that point, it's nothing. You're
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
all right. I mean, the devices definitely have helped out with that, but even before devices, you could bring a book, or there was always other shit you can occupy your mind with. But yeah, any of it flies by much faster than as a kid. That's for fucking sure.
yep,
So how quickly your perception of time passing accelerates pretty quickly. I think once you start going to school, especially um, after a couple of years of school, because up till then, I mean, week to week is probably mostly the same for you. You know what I mean? Before you go to school, but then you have these periods of I'm going to school, a few months off, going to school, a few months off, or whatever. You really
yeah,
start noticing the passage of the years, and it's interminably long. The
yeah.
first
It
couple
does. It
times.
takes a long fucking time. Very true.
But yeah, I remember having that thought as a kid, like, oh, first or second grade, probably first maybe, but I was like, wow, this seemed like way faster than last year.
Oh yeah,
In the same period of time.
it goes by so fast. Yeah, it's crazy how fast it goes after a while.
Yeah, and yeah, it accelerates very quickly. Indeed. Yeah. Mm. But yeah, even that, yeah, because when you're talking about like in geological terms or astronomical terms, like the formation of stars and all that shit. Like,
Oh yeah.
when you start talking about millions of years, like I don't know, I don't know if anybody really grasps that.
I don't think it's
again,
possible.
Yeah, it's not completely, unless you're really like locked in on it, I guess. But yeah, it's like when you say 100 million years, like, is it really that different than saying like 100,000 or you know what I mean, like 10 million years? It's all just a really, really long time. It's kind of all the same, other
Yeah,
than
it's just a big
mathematically.
fucking number to represent like
Yeah.
an otherwise incomprehensible thing.
Yeah, it might as well be infinite. Like once you get over like a million or whatever.
Exactly.
Like there's a certain point where it's all just infinite, you know?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, where it just might as well be infinite. Yeah. Yeah, 100% agree on that one there. Because yeah, like 10,000 years, 100,000 years, you're not understanding either one of them. Like it's just, come on.
Damn it! Now I'm thinking about the start of the universe. I hate thinking about that shit.
Oh, where it sort of like pulls your mind into almost like a fucking free fall kind of thing.
Yeah, because in my head I'll be like, well, there had to be a start to everything, but then, like, it has to have just always been. You know what I mean? Like both of those thoughts make sense to me. So, like, there had to be a beginning of everything, but what was there before that? Like, and so there had to be a start of some kind, but what? I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but yeah, like it's like there had to be a start, but there can't possibly have been. It just has always been.
Well, we know there was
real start.
a beginning. Like they figured out a beginning time, sort of. Mathematically, they think they understand that there was a beginning time, and it was several 100 billion years ago, or whatever. I forget what how they do that, but they know there was a start, right? I think that is part of the thing, right?
Well, yeah. Well, this universe they say is about 13.4 billion years old or something.
Yeah,
is that what you're asking?
Yeah. So they know there's like a certain starting time. So like that's when everything began, I would imagine, right? I mean,
yeah, but what was there before that? It just popped into existence?
I would assume nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how did it happen then? What occurred to have all the matter for the Big Bang to have blown up and caused the universe? Where did that come from?
Oh, yeah, that's what you mean. Yeah, just kind of just become recursive.
Yeah. I mean, it's ultimately pointless, I guess. But it's just like, yeah, no, I guess that's fine. You say where the start, but how did that start? Where did the mass that apparently didn't exist before that?
I mean,
suddenly
it's sort of like the same question of where were you before you were born. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
when people are talking about, like, well, what's it like being dead? Well, what was it like before you were alive?
It's like it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Not that that's a comforting thing to everybody. That's not comforting to. Actually, it's probably not comforting to a lot of people. But
yeah, I don't give a shit. But yeah, no, it's always just like. But then, okay. Where did that start from?
Yeah, where did the start
start? That? Yeah. So like, okay, Big Bang. Okay, so what caused that? What was happening before that? You're like, nothingness? How did nothingness turn into all this shit that exists in the universe? Because that seems like a lot of stuff did not exist and then suddenly exist.
Yeah, good question. An excellent question. I don't know. I'd love to give you an answer. Be like, oh, well, the answer is, but I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Nobody
no
knows
way.
The answer to that one, obviously.
That's why, yeah. That is ultimately what eventually had try to forget about it and until the next time. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, there's no way to know. So just stop fucking thinking about it. There's absolutely no fucking way to know. So think about something that's productive. Because you're never getting an answer to that question. You can loop it as much as you want. And just fucking obsess over it.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is there's absolutely, well, I don't want to say absolutely no chance. I have to put it an astronomically unlikely chance that I'm going to get an answer to that question.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
pretty
it's not getting
cool.
answered anytime soon. That is to put it lightly.
Indeed. I've gotten better about it because there used to be days, dude, I would think about that shit. And I'm like, so now I can dismiss it pretty quickly because I know exactly how pointless it is. Oh, man. But sometimes I want to torture myself for whatever reason. I fucking go back into the loop.
Hey, you know, later tonight when you're trying to sleep,
That's the
you
best
can spend
time.
as long as you'd like, just sitting there thinking about that and nothing else, and just going back and forth down that hole over and over and over.
Yeah,
Driving
you
yourself
just never
slowly
get to
fucking
sleep.
insane.
You can't
Yeah,
stop
just
thinking
never
about
get
it.
any sleep.
Yeah, yeah. So much fun.
You know, hey,
It's a good time.
hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy it.
Everyone, everyone needs a hobby. Mine is insomnia, wondering about the start of the universe.
Oh no.
Start of the universe querying induced insomnia.
President Putin's cat died. No. I get some weird stories from my buddy Wacko from fucking Venezuela. He goes by Wacko. I'm sure because like you know, you don't want your real name fucking out anywhere where anybody could hear it and report something to somebody. You know.
Isn't that one of the Warner kids from Animaniacs?
Yeah.
Wacko Yakko.
Yeah, it's after that that kid from the Animaniacs.
Oh, okay.
He's
nice.
our age though. He's like late 40s, so I think he's like 45 or something, 46 maybe.
Oh yeah. Dude, yeah, I don't know if you watch that show, but I really like that show.
Oh, the Animaniacs? I watched that when I was a kid. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had Pinky and the Brain. They
shit.
had the fucking Animaniacs. There was like the little girl and the dog that was entertaining.
The birds. Was the Good Feathers? The Good Feathers?
Yeah. The pigeons that were like a mafia.
Bird, like wise guy bird. Was that part of that? Yeah. That was part of it, or am I confusing? Is that something else? Because there was a squirrel chick, the smart-ass, like sarcastic squirrel chick, right? That was part of it.
Slappy the squirrel.
Yeah. Okay. I keep forgetting. I'm like, is that part of it?
That's the one that got the school secretary to fuck with me for all 4 years of high school.
Oh, really?
Because there was the little girl would pick up the phone and like just jabber for a little while, and they go, "Okay, bye, I love you, bye," or something like that. And I did that, and then she just fucking was like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck with this kid. He's just there to be screwed with, apparently."
Holy shit!
So I would get calls from the president and shit, like announced over the fucking loudspeaker. You would never get that shit anymore. But yeah, like she'd fuck with me all the time. It was funny.
Wow.
It didn't really bother me. I thought it was funny, but you know, because I was like, I get it. I fucked up. I said something dumb. You know, I you know, whatever. Fair enough. Fair game. I'm not above it.
All right. Did it drag on a little too long, or?
No, I mean,
was it still funny?
It's not like she was trying to fucking contact me after high school and being like, "Hey, come over to my apartment and get dinner with me," like the fucking high school science teacher did.
Oh my god. God damn it, there was just a case that I was fucking learning about.
Oh, what was I was she looked like a chubbier version of this one lady that I recently remember. Like she's like a Saturday Night Live lady with like short blonde hair that always plays kind of like a dyke coach and stuff.
Fuck. Oh no, you say blonde?
Yeah.
sort of Saturday Night Live, or like nowadays Saturday Night Live, or someone from a
From
previous
like the
cast, like
80s
years
or
ago?
90s. I'm scrolling through right now a list of the top 30.
Let's see, short blonde.
Like
Huh.
she plays like an athletic coach in a lot of different things. Like maybe what was it, the one where everybody sang in the show? They're all a bunch of like gay kids and they all sang, like did musical shit.
Glee? Oh,
Glee.
okay. She's the one from 40 Old Virgin, right? She was the boss in 40 Old Virgin.
Maybe Sue
That chick?
Sylvester.
Yeah, that's the one that is from Glee as well. I'm pretty sure. I don't think she was ever on Saturday Night Live though, or maybe she hosted it or something. But
I just
yeah, 'cause
remembered
when
her
she
because
finds
she
out-
was like similar to their style of humor. That lady.
oh,
Imagine
gotcha,
her, but
okay.
like 20 pounds heavier.
Jeez.
And
All right.
this is the high school teacher that was trying to get me to come over for dinner and a glass of wine when I was like fucking
Oh,
20 years old working at a fucking Safeway. I mean, I guess it should be, it's flattering
wow,
in,
that is so
in some
creepy.
respect, but it's like,
Yeah, I
you
guess
know,
it's creepier. Yeah. If it started when you're, like the kids nowadays, where it's 12 or 13.
She never made any kind of move when I was in high school, though. So, like, to be fair to her, like, it was never a, like, trying to bang the
it could
student
have
while
been
they're in high school.
weirder.
It's just like, oh, well, I ran into this kid after high school, and he's looking yummy, so... Waited till I was 20 years old, so it was 2 years after high school. It wasn't, like, right after high school, like, at 18, so... It was still kind of
it's
like...
a little creepy instead of, illegal, so that's a plus.
Yeah, it's still creepy. Yeah, still creepy, but not like illegal and morally reprehensible. Like it would be if I was like 16 at the time,
Yeah, no, there was one that had just, it's like it happens so often, dude.
Oh, women bang students in high school a lot. Like one of the things that gets me is the number of like male staff. Since I've worked where I've worked, there has not been a single male staff member who has gotten in trouble for taking advantage of a female client. There's been like one lady that got busted for watching porn and two ladies that got busted for sleeping with clients. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like
fucking weird, dude.
Right? It just fucking doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, you would think the dudes are gonna be, supposed to be horny and do stupid shit.
Yeah, you would think.
But yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and there's been situations where like I definitely, if I wanted to, could have used my position and used it as a way to put somebody in a position where if they wanted something, they would have to give me sexual favors or something. I could have easily done that. It's not particularly complicated or hard to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially not with crazy bitches.
Well, if you're gonna go run off and hang out with your friends for the next 4 hours or something, give me a little handy, little hand action under there. Oh, well, you did that last week. Yeah, that's not enough. Price is going up.
Yeah, that wasn't a one-time thing. Yeah, that was one payment for one-time indiscretion there.
Yeah.
So blow me and then you're free to go.
Yep, exactly.
But that's the other thing. Like you have like
get you a carton of cigarettes if you suck my dick. That kind of shit. Easily probably would have worked in a lot of cases.
Like it seems different.
You want some meth? Yeah, I can get you some meth, but you're gonna have to.
The really weird thing.
Bend over that bed, baby.
The really odd thing.
Gross.
Is like with men and children, like it's always just a straight up predatory thing. And for women, when they're doing it, when they're sleeping with 11, 12, 13-year-olds or whatever, like they're thinking they're on full-on relationships with these kids. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Like, I think there's a lot of guys that when they're banging these young girls, treat it like it's a relationship too. I think it's weird in both cases, honestly. Because I don't understand how you could have a relationship with like a child. Like they're like, how does that make sense to anyone, right? Like it just doesn't make sense at all.
No, it's fucking gross. Dude, I've
I mean, kids are just like they don't understand anything. How the hell could you possibly think?
Yeah, how is that any kind of equal relationship or whatever? Where it's fucking, you're not on the same wavelength remotely, or you shouldn't be, at least. Dude, I just found out recently,
he's
within the last, like,
soul.
I don't know, month or so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking
He's very wise for his age. He's very advanced pure wise.
He's moved beyond addition and subtraction and division to working with fractions. I'm very proud of him.
Oh fuck, dude. It's it's so fucking weird. The case in is it Florida? Madeline Soto case where like her mom.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, this is one that had just come up recently because like the mom's boyfriend had been like fucking his daughter since she was like 8 or 9 years old, and like she's claiming that she didn't know, but I don't see how that's possible.
Oh, there's a lot of cases where like moms have like looked the other way while their husbands are banging or boyfriends are banging their fucking kids. I don't. Yeah, there's no fucking way, because in a lot of them, like it turns out very shortly after, it turns out that, the kid had told them on multiple occasions, like, hey, he's doing things to me when you're asleep, and I don't like it, like.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand at like 8 years old that it's sex, really. Like, it isn't, like, they don't, but that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this one is particularly disgusting because, first of all, basically it was some weird situation where it's like pretty nice house. Couldn't really afford. They had a couple of like 4 bedrooms. 2 of them were rented out. So 2 bedrooms. One should have been, the mom's. One should have been the daughter's. But again, apparently all 3 of them would sleep in the same room a lot of times. But then also
that's fucking weird.
The mom, no, it gets way worse. Trust me. And then. Apparently, at some point, the mom would be like, look, I really need to get a good night's sleep, so I'm going to need both of you to go sleep in the other bedroom together.
There's no way she didn't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And again, even early on, one of the cops gives her fucking shit. She's like, this whole time, you seem more concerned with him, making sure he gets a lawyer and make sure he's okay, than for your daughter who's missing. And who I don't know if she knew
Oh, did he kill her? That's sad.
They knew that she was dead by that point. Oh yeah. Because like he claimed, oh no, I dropped her off at this by this church short of the school because she didn't like to be seen dropped off. So that's why there's no footage of any of the cameras along that route because I dropped her off right before that. And then it turns out the cameras saw him going nowhere near that direction and quite the opposite direction. And there were shots of seeing her in the thing, like slumped over with her eyes open. So she was dead. And they apparently didn't even bother closing her eyes. The whole thing's fucking weird. I don't know why I'm going to try to fucking understand any of that, but.
Really, yeah, at the end of the day, there's really not much to...
Yeah, but anyways, I was just like, how the fuck can you be okay with that? It's so fucking disgusting. Your own child. It's not like she was adopted. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's one of those things where you execute both parents, honestly.
Yeah, and she's not going to get in trouble at all. Apparently, she's not going to get in trouble at all. Because that's all the comment sections are saying.
Even though that's like gross negligence.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because they want to make sure he gets fucking busted or whatever, and using her for whatever. Yeah, and no matter what, I'm like, how the fuck are you giving this bitch immunity? You let this shit happen. I don't know how long she knew, but apparently it had been happening. She was 13 when she actually died. Like, she just turned 13 like a day or 2 before.
Yeah. She just started to get to the point where she's starting to understand the world, which is why she was killed, obviously.
Yeah.
Because he realized,
Yeah,
shit, she's gonna fucking rat me out and I'm fucked to the cops. Like, she'll.
Yeah.
13 is about the age where she's gonna figure out pretty quickly that, like, hey, I don't like what's happening, and I can go talk to the police and make it stop forever, and my fucking stepdad goes to prison, or my dad goes to prison, or whatever.
Yeah, it's also theorized that she thought she might be pregnant, and that was actually the biggest reason why he killed her.
Oh, that's possible too, yeah.
Yeah.
Because God forbid he use a condom while he's raping his fucking kid.
Dude, apparently, yeah. The reason he got busted, because like initially he wasn't really a suspect, but they take the mom and the dads and anybody that's that close to the case. They're like, hey, can we go through your devices? And because at first he's like, yeah, no, I tried to do the latest update for the iPhone and ended up having to. I ended up accidentally doing a factory reset on my phone like twice. And here's the thing about that. It's something I learned from swapping devices over and swapping pics and phone books from one phone to another. There's shit that you think is deleted that does not necessarily get deleted.
Oh yeah,
and they found
you can't
roughly,
just it doesn't just disappear.
Yeah, it's not like it doesn't. Yeah, there's shit that's gonna carry over because I remember there was a chick that worked at that ran a smoke shop around the corner of where I worked at one of the. Not when I worked directly for Verizon, but when I worked for a reseller for a short time. But anyways, yeah, she was. She had come in and I, swapped over the stuff from one phone to the other. Automatic nowadays, but not always. That was a pain in the ass back in the day. But anyways, she's like talking to the guy, her boyfriend or whatever, and it's like, hey, there's some pictures that just got taken over that I had definitely deleted. So I guess I don't know why she bothered like trying to be cryptic. Like I wasn't gonna know exactly what the fuck she was talking about, but it was kind of funny.
Oh, like she had some nudes on there, and she was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, or them actually fucking or whatever it was.
Oh
something
yeah, like
crazy like that.
I doubt you really gave a shit at that point, honestly. You were probably like, yeah, whatever. Like you worked at that you worked at that place long enough, no doubt that you're like, nudes, whatever. Like, never seen those before.
No, I definitely never looked through anybody's shit like that.
There was a chick I worked with where I work who fucking went to show me like some picture on her phone for some reason. She had a picture on her phone or whatever, and she was dating some guy who was like a military guy who was away from her at the time. And she started swiping through her pictures, and there was like a picture of her on the fucking in the bathroom with a bikini on, with like one of her feet up on the fucking counter. I was just like, she was embarrassed. Dude. I'm just like, I do not give a shit. Like, you have no idea how little I care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
I'm not surprised this.
You're like,
exists,
you're like 10 years younger than I am, at least, if not, like, she was maybe more. Maybe she was like 15 years younger than me. I don't know. But it was one of those things where it's like, it was, I even if that was intentional, I'm not interested. So why would I give a shit about this? Yeah. It's like, it's not even that spicy. It's just a bathing suit, like a bikini. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if it had been a naked photo, that would have been like, oh shit, I didn't need to see your fucking cooch this early in the morning. But like, fucking.
Right. Yeah. Could have done without that. Right. But yeah, no, it's what do you call it? The the younger generations, man. Well, I guess dick pics have been around for pretty much everyone.
The younger generation,
I don't know.
Now they're fucking whack when it comes to like sex and stuff. They're out of their fucking minds.
Yeah, but as far as like dick pics, that's like kind of not even generational, really. But I've never done it. Like, I've never even considered taking a picture of my cock. But I'm kind of the weird one.
Why would you do that?
As, like, people under like 50. Yeah, I don't know, but a lot of people do it.
Yeah, like, why?
You know what I mean?
Would you,
like I think you and I
intentionally get a picture of your junk and put it out there where everybody could potentially see it. Yeah, there's no good reason for that.
Yeah, I never understood it, dude. But again, there are people like I would say under the age of 50. I would say far more have done it than haven't. Right? I think that's a
Oh
pretty
yeah,
safe
like
bet.
why? I don't know. The people I hang out with are different.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
But it seems, yeah. But
they're kind
yeah,
of the
it
nerdy
seems
group.
like
So
it's.
like, not a lot of them do that. A lot of them are
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, that's dumb. I would never fucking put my penis on a fucking
Yeah.
picture and send it to
Yeah.
somebody.
I say yeah. But yeah, definitely the younger you go, the say that's probably a pretty solid fucking trend or whatever.
There's also a bunch of people I know who I've gotten the implication that if I were not very clear in my VR chat intentions of like not of just being there to make friends, because so I'm just there to have a good time and like chat with people and bullshit. I'm not there to like fuck or pretend to fuck or whatever weird creepy nonsense they come up with. That if I wasn't very clear on that, I probably would have been receiving nudes for a while or something like that. Like
Right.
like they would have just they
Yeah,
send
no,
them
it
to
seems
fucking
like,
everybody kind of thing, where they're like they just like the attention that they get from it. It's not even like a sexual thing. Like they're not interested in you. They just want the attention and the like. Oh my god, you're so hot from you.
Yeah. They may have no interest in fucking you, but they want you to know that you into fucking them, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Essentially, it's
They
like they just want to get that momentary, that one split second moment of like
a little bit of validation
of like
Yeah,
I think you're
validation.
super hot. Like holy shit, you got a really nice set of tits or something like that. They just kind of want that momentary gratification, and it's so weird to me, because like I'm not. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I just do not fucking care. It's hard to describe how little like shit I give, you know. But these people are just they live and die by that from other people. I don't understand, you know. Like they really need that validation.
Yeah. Did gaming ever send you a picture of him unsolicited?
Yeah,
not
he sent a
thing.
no, just like a regular picture.
Yeah. I was like, why did you send it? I didn't ask for that. I didn't even hint it. Why did I need to? You know what I mean?
Well, some people
weird,
have a thing about wanting to what do you call it? Like
know what you look like.
Just know who they're interacting with online. They just want to have like some sort of like like.
Oh, so that was his way of. That was kind of his way of saying like, hey, what do you look like?
Maybe I don't know. Some people just want to give out pictures too.
I just remember, I'm like, why did you send this? Because I remember asking him, I'm like, I didn't ask you to do this. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, some people just do. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's not that strange, I guess, but I couldn't remember anyone else ever doing it.
It doesn't make sense to me either. Like that's the thing. Like don't get me wrong. I unless I'm specifically gonna meet with somebody or something, it's like you don't really need a picture, or like I can send a picture if it's something funny.
Yeah, it wasn't even like lewds or feeds or any of that shit. It was just a regular picture.
Oh yeah. Well, gaming's not gaming is not one of those fucking gay people that doesn't get that other people aren't interested. Like he's obviously.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah.
No, I have to assume he was wanted to know what I looked like and figured if he sent it what he looked like, I would send it back or what I look like.
I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to send a picture.
Wanted compliments, maybe. He wanted to hear from a straight guy how hot he was. Young.
He does look. I don't know if that was how recent that picture is, but he does look very young in that picture.
That was years ago. When we were all doing this, when they would come on almost every week. So it's been quite a while since that's been the case.
Well, he's been doing all that dieting and stuff too. He's probably looking sharp now.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah, dude, I haven't even checked out his show because I think he's still on Twitch, right?
Yeah, Twitch just feels too much like a fucking strip club to me, man. I don't like going on there.
Yeah, no, they're pretty gross too. Apparently, very anti-Semitic people there too.
Really?
From what I understand. Yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't hear about that with everybody getting bans. Everybody except Hassan. All of Hassan's buddies have said some very well. You remember Ethan recently came out with a thing where he was because there's the fat bitch Frogan. You know, the one where I send her as Jabba the Hutt or whatever. That chick. You remember her?
Yeah.
Okay, she's one of his orbiters. There's a chick named Denims who thinks she's a political streamer, but she's a titty streamer. And a couple other people. They had this panel at like TwitchCon where they were doing the whole Arab Jew thing, basically. Although there's like there was a tier list thing where it was like Arab adjacent, Arab pass or whatever. And then the last one was Love Sabra. So that was for the Jews, basically. Because they had like Ben Shapiro and fucking Ethan Klein in that section. So it was basically pretty hard not to claim, or hard to claim anything other than this is Arabs good, Jews bad, right? Like it's very hard not to.
There was no real pretense that they could possibly claim that would actually work.
Yeah, they still tried, but yeah. So basically, all of them like that happened at TwitchCon. So like Twitch should have been aware of it. And apparently one of the people that was on the trust and safety thing, their counsel or whatever, had gotten fired from a previous position for anti-Semitic remarks they made on social media or whatever.
Well, again, what do you expect from a bunch of racists, honestly? Like, your political group is just racist people. Like, you're going to get a bunch of racist stuff out of them. They're going to have a lot of racists in that group.
Yeah. And you remember Hassan having on the Houthi kid and telling him how he was basically like Anne Frank and that he was he was just like the hero from One Piece because they both knew what One Piece was. So yeah, it's pretty obvious that they're anti-Semitic. But anyways, yeah, everybody except Hassan, like the people that were on that panel, all got suspensions of like a month or whatever. But Hassan wasn't on the panel. But he's quite obviously said some wildly anti-Semitic shit, and again, had a fucking wildly anti-Semitic fucking pirate kid on. You know what I mean? And glorified him. He literally said he's basically like Anne Frank. It was fucking amazing. And again, obviously he didn't get suspended, because I guess they're claiming, well, he wasn't on the panel. So, plus, he's our biggest fucking streamer, so we can't take the hit since we're not profitable anyway, so... He's not suspended, but we're telling him to watch it.
I get really suspicious when all these platforms talk about how they're not making profits. These platforms that are the biggest fucking platform in their fucking genre. Like YouTube is the biggest video hosting platform on the internet worldwide.
Yeah. And they're somehow losing money all the time.
Losing money on it? I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're telling the truth. I know that's weird. A lot of people are like, no, you don't understand. No, I do. I just don't believe a company that makes that much money on everything else could possibly have the world's most popular video hosting platform and lose money on it.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. I don't believe you for a second. I don't think Twitch is telling the truth either when they're talking about not making money. I don't think that's true.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Do you know who Denims is? Do you know what I'm talking about? That bitch?
No, not off. I mean, I've probably seen her or something, but I just don't. I can't remember her offhand. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. She's her tits are prominently displayed in streaming.
I mean, if there's a woman that's streaming that doesn't have her tits displayed, it's more remarkable than one that has them out.
I mean, yeah. She does, she at least has a nice set of tits, so that's kind of nice, I guess. But but anyways, yeah, she was one of the ones that got suspended, right? Dude, listening to her, everybody is telling me she's as stupid as she seems to be. And I actually find it hard to believe that she's as stupid as she seems to be. Like, she's that fucking dumb. Like, you have to be acting. You cannot be this fucking stupid.
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's weird. She's
fucking brain dead. Yeah, and it seems like she's what do you call it?
It's a really typical.
When I first became aware of her,
it's a really typical dodge I find when women pretend to be stupid on the internet.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
they're
It's
usually up to something, and then they're pretending to be dumb. You know, like it just it's. I find that one really sus.
Yeah, but everybody is telling me that have known her way longer. She really is this stupid. But I'm like, okay, if you insist. But I'm still like, I
Yeah,
just can't.
that's really sus.
Because when I first became aware of her, the impression I got is that she would like tiptoe up to expressing an opinion, but kind of trail off right before completing the opinion. So I was like, okay, so she's just being like kind of shifty on this shit and like wants plausible deniability or something, right?
Yeah.
But now I think all it is she refuses to express any opinion that she doesn't know what Hassan thinks already about. She will not. She does not
Oh,
want to
that
express
actually,
anything that
yeah, I can
Hassan
see
might
that.
disagree with. All right. Okay. Yeah, I posted a pic there. Yeah, she's got a nice set of tits. So, oh yeah, the other thing, this bitch will fucking have like an hour and a half lead in of just showing other people's shit. Mostly Hassan's fucking streams or whatever. For like an hour and a half before she even actually starts the show. It's an hour to an hour and a half before she even sits down to start talking. It's the
That's
longest
weird.
fucking shit I've ever seen, dude. Yeah. But yeah, and then, dude, the fake laugh of these people is so infuriating, dude. It's so fucking. There's a guy called Westside Tyler, and like, dude, I don't understand how anybody can listen to him because he does this fucking. He laughs like he's having the greatest time ever, and it's so insincere. It's so fucking forced, and I'm like, how can anybody listen to this shit? It's fucking weird, man. Okay, I'm getting a little off track there, but yeah, it seems to be for all these, dude. They're so fucking. I'm having a wonderful time, and I'm so happy. And this thing that obviously bothers me isn't bothering me at all. Listen to my laugh.
Yeah, I don't understand
Kind of
the connection between a lot of these like streamers and their audiences, as far as like what they get out of the interaction. In a lot of cases, to me, is just baffling. Yeah, it's weird. Like a lot of it just doesn't make sense to me. Like what is it? There's a streamer that has a lot of shorts that are out there that just recently got really big. Named Thor, I think he's named Thor. He's the computer guy with the long brown hair. And he has a really deep voice, and he talks like this, sort of like a radio guy. I posted him. It's Pirate Software is the name of the channel.
All right, let me check out.
I posted one of his things on 11/27, like 5 in the morning. That's fucking way back.
Go back.
And I used to have a lot of respect for him because he would talk about things that made, that were very interesting, and like, I'm not an expert on computers, so when somebody's like chatting up about computers, it's interesting to me. Like, it's like, oh, okay, this is stuff that I'm just not my fucking area of expertise.
Okay, yeah,
so it's interesting to hear somebody who does understand what's going on. And he worked at Blizzard and stuff like that, and he used to work with the people that busted cheaters in not Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Warcraft and World of Warcraft and StarCraft and stuff like that, as well as being like a game dev, like putting together like the stuff that they had for that kind of stuff. So you like see a lot of interesting stories, a lot of respect for that guy. But then, like, he turns out to be just as fucking obnoxious as the rest of them. Because, like, one of my pet peeves, and it's just, maybe this is just me. I don't like people who arbitrarily decide that everybody else is dumb and they're smart because people don't have the same area of expertise as them. It's like, yeah, if you're a computer programmer and you're talking about like computer program stuff, yeah, a lot of people are going to be really dumb compared to you when they're talking about computer program stuff because that's not, like maybe that's a mechanic or maybe that's somebody that works at a fucking grocery store or something. It's just not. It's not their area of expertise. They don't understand it.
Yeah, and, that's weird. It's because it's something
Something what? You kind of cut off there.
Yeah, well, nobody cares. I mean, the average person is not going to care about computer programming. So it's weird to take fucking, like, some kind of like odd pride and think you're smarter just because you know how to do something that a vast majority of people don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
it's very odd.
It's I applaud anybody who reaches an area of being an expert in their field, and he's an expert in his field, and I applaud that.
Right,
I absolutely respect
that. Yeah. No, I don't have an issue with that. But
when you turn around and say things like, "Oh, I worked in customer service there; it was the worst because everybody that called was an idiot," and it's like, no, they just don't understand computers because they're not like they don't have your area of expertise. Like that's a totally different thing. But the other thing he started doing recently, which is just sad, is pushing fucking Blue Sky. Yeah. I've lost a lot of fucking respect for he's talking about like that's where all the conversation is. I'm like, no, that's where all the people that wanted to shut conversation down went.
Yeah, the ones that used to have Twitter for that, but when Dorsey left and Elon bought it, it was.
Yeah, they're just throwing temper tantrums because they can't control the conversation anymore.
Yeah.
And you sound like an idiot when you talk about how like that's the only place where conversation is now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the only place where everyone agrees with.
Yeah, I don't have to think because thinking is hard.
Yeah. Yeah, although Twitch is going back to the Twitch thing. Twitch is kind of the same way. Like, again, there's no real conservative that are on there anymore. Like, they get the fucking boot for saying, fucked up shit. But if you hate Jews or you're a minority, they're not going to kick you off.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing about Twitch that's interesting is I was listening to a couple of streamers that are VR tubers, whatever. They had like a weird little podcast that was kind of interesting. Usually, I'm not a fan of VTubers normally, but these two were actually kind of entertaining because they're both kind of like late 30s, early 40s, and so it was like, oh, they're not fucking obnoxious and boring like little kids. It's like these 20-year-olds are just there selling titties all the time. But they're not the biggest streamers. They're relatively small. And they've got the kind of money where they're going out and whining and dining in LA and like buying meals for like 10 people at fancy restaurants and flying to Japan on a regular basis for fun. So the money they're making off of relatively insignificant channels as far as Twitch goes, like they're not anywhere near the high end of Twitch. The money they're making is pretty substantial. For being able to do that.
Yeah.
So to me,
so they weren't. That's their income then. So they weren't wealthy from some other source. And
no. This is they've been working in the entertainment field for a long time. They very good at merchandising. So they will like get. They'll sell merchandise. They'll sell fucking. Like shirts and fucking mouse pads and stickers and fucking keychain fobs, little shit. And they do Twitch, and so they're making enough money off of that to make a pretty damn good living, substantially better than most people live. Way better, way more money than most people have disposable income wise.
So somebody like Sasan's got to be making fucking insane amounts of money.
So the concept that Twitch is not making money is just fucking unbelievable to me. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, although it does seem to be very poorly run.
I can understand if the money that they're earning is going into things that they're losing money. The company is losing money to their own employees. But the profit is there. That's the part I refuse to to pretend it's not
it should
going
probably
on.
be more profitable, but there's no doubt it's got to be profitable in some way. They're not paying out that much
Exactly.
themselves. Yeah.
Maybe that's a better way to
Although
put it.
from what I understand, like they don't even have, they've never even like the technology to have like put in a 24-hour ban or a 30-day ban and just have it automatically expire. Like if they do a 24-hour ban, it has to be manually enacted and has to be manually taken off.
Oh, weird.
So somebody has to actually do it. Yeah, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, they're a pretty fucking shabbily run company, but I still refuse to believe that Bezos is putting up, because again, they're owned by Amazon. I don't know if I assume you're familiar with that. Amazon bought
There was
them
like
a
a big to-do about it where like people were like, yay, Amazon's buying Twitch so it won't be part of Google. And it was like, I don't think you guys understand this is still a bad thing, but okay.
Yeah, what the fuck? All right. Oh, by the way, I may have to end that now. If my son gets here, we're going to end at the end of the hour anyway. Whenever my son gets here, I got to have him run me to the store, so.
Oh, hey, you got to take that shot when you got it. And, it's all good.
I appreciate you starting the hour earlier this week, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got a football game to watch, man. I respect that.
Yeah, my team is really good, and that doesn't happen normally. I think you don't need to know anything about football, but they're one of the favorites. At one point, they were the odds-on to win the Super Bowl, like a few weeks ago, which is insane, because they were horrible for decades.
Oh, wow. I remember the Lions being pretty much a joke for most of, like, anything I would ever hear about football from, like, my family. My family being almost entirely 49ers and Giants fans.
Yeah, like, they almost made it last year. They wwere beating the 49ers, like, 27-3. They fucked it up, they choked it, but they were destroying the Niners, like, if they would have won that game, they would have been in the Super Bowl. They should have won it, and they fucked up. Yeah, they were destroying the Niners, and they let up, and some crazy shit happened, like ball doinking off of the fucking Lions defender helmet right into the arms of the fucking Niners guy. They're like way downfield. Like, it was a bunch of madness. But they could have easily won it last year, and then they're like even better this year. Like they're 11-1. They lost week 2, and they've won 10 in a row since then. And they're playing Green Bay, who's in the same division and also one of the best teams in the NFC overall. That's what's happening tonight.
So they're really cleaning fucking house.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. They've had an insane amount of injuries too, and they're still winning, which is fucking nuts.
Oh, that is impressive, because that is one of those things where like a lot of teams seem to really suffer when there's a lot of injuries going on, because they can't really compete with the other teams. Like their good players can't play, essentially.
Yeah, going into this season, it was already the deepest the deepest Lions team since I've been a fan, and that's since 1989. Like, back then, they were actually good. It was when Barry Sanders was playing, and they actually made it to an NFC Championship game in 91. And then they didn't win another playoff game until last year. So they went like 36 years or whatever the fuck it was, 31 years, I think it was. Yeah, without winning. Like, they made the playoffs occasionally, but they hadn't won a playoff game in over 30 years. Yeah, so it's fucking...
And if you're a fan, it's like, oh, hell yeah, I want to watch this season. I got to see what's coming up.
Yeah, this doesn't happen often. But it's crazy because, like, the guys that took over, and this is their 4th season at the head, the guy that took over the general manager, the guy that drafts players and signs free agents or whatever, and the coaches and the coaching staff. 4 years ago when they took over, what do you call it? The roster was the worst in the league. It was no talent and no depth. And in 4 years, they're like the deepest team in the league.
Damn.
So it's a very quick turnaround.
Wow, I wonder what happened. Steroids?
Yeah.
Lots and lots of steroids. I don't
No,
know.
it was just well, they have an especially like coherent like if the player is an asshole, they're not going to draft him, kind of thing.
Oh,
Like no matter how
smart,
good,
smart.
yeah, like no matter how talented they are, if the guy's an asshole, they're not going to draft him.
That actually works out really, really positively. Even though you
Trees
might
should
think
not
like, oh,
grow
well, they're
this
just not going to
large.
have the same depth of talent in the team. But the reality is, there's a lot of people that play at that level, and
Oh, yeah.
having the people enjoy being there is so much more important than just like raw skill.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a team as well as this team does. So yeah, even if they're like they're gonna have confidence in their abilities, but don't take that opportunity to be a diva or whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not, there's no reason to have like people that are going to make the rest of the team fucking miserable.
Yeah, because it definitely makes a difference as far as like fighting for your when you like them, as opposed to if you kind of don't. There's certainly been teams that didn't get along. It's a lot easier if there aren't a bunch of assholes on your team.
Yeah.
So that's why. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That goes
That doesn't
without
happen
saying.
right. So yeah, they've had 18 guys go on injured reserve, which is generally your season's over. On a roster, the roster is what 51, I think, maybe 53.
Wow.
And 18 is a very high number, dude. Especially when the season's only about 2/3 done. But yeah, no, they put it together a fucking insane team. Whatever their criteria is, the general manager has managed to find really good players throughout. Whether it's the first round or the fucking last round, he's managing to get good players everywhere. It's fucking nuts. Oh, wow.
Well, don't
Which
they
is
have
nice.
a system where, like the team that's doing the worst gets to like pick and like the first pick kind of thing in a lot of these sports, like basketball and football and stuff, when they're drafting new players?
Yeah, in the NFL, it's based off of a record. The other sports it kind of is too, but like in the NFL, it's just the record. Whoever has the worst record gets a pick. Whoever has the second worst gets a second, and so on. So that was definitely part of it because they were picking, early because they were the worst, one of the worst teams or whatever. But they also traded the quarterback and got another decent quarterback back that everybody thought was washed up. That's still the quarterback, and they got a shitload of picks for the other guy. So that helped to get all the extra high draft picks.
So it turned out that the guy wasn't as bad as everybody thought, as far as like his ability to keep going.
Yeah, and it was one of those for both sides because the Rams were essentially like, okay, he's the piece. If we get him, we're going to win the Super Bowl, and they did. So that was their aim with the trade. So they got what they wanted, and the Lions wanted, a bunch of extra draft picks to rebuild the team, and they did. So it is kind of nice that both teams got what they wanted out of the deal.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I'll stop talking about it. Sorry. What else is happening?
I mean, I don't understand the sports, but like, it doesn't really bother me when you talk about it. Like, I just don't understand what you're talking about for the most part.
Yeah, well, I was trying to restrict it to stuff that you didn't really need knowledge of the game. Probably strayed a little too far. I'm not talking about fucking formations and fucking.
Yeah, like a flea picker kick to the offside, fucking receiver, blah blah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. If you have 12 personnel, you have 2 good tight ends. 12 personnel is really hard to. Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. That's the kind of shit I'm not going to talk.
Well, it makes sense. If you're into sports, it makes perfect sense, though. To be fair.
Yeah.
Because so again,
it's like the. If I do talk about it.
like if you're super into Hollywood, learning all the directors and the writers and who people get along with and who they don't get along with and why movies aren't getting made or are getting made. Yeah, it's more entertaining if you're into that stuff, Whereas if you don't really like movies very much, then hearing of all that shit is boring as shit. Nobody wants to know.
Right. Yeah, actually, no, I like movies, but I don't care about who directs for the most part, honestly.
Yeah, whereas like I like watching the director's cut on almost everything. I love hearing like the stories in the background and like how they figured out how they decided to do this, that, or the other thing.
All right. Yeah, I don't generally watch those, although the ones I do, I like watching like Fear and Loathing with like Hunter S. Thompson talking about all this shit.
Oh yeah,
as they're watching it, playing. That one's a pretty good one. He's talking about how Johnny Depp was like hanging out with him to kind of get down his, speech and mannerisms and all that.
Oh yeah, because Johnny Depp is one of those rare things where he's like he started out in acting because he was like the sort of the beefcake kind of the good-looking kid was skating by on his looks for a lot of stuff, but then turned out to really be willing to really put in the work and like play characters and actually act.
Yeah, but no, you talked about like Hunter, and then Johnny was doing like the same movements, so it was like freaking him out. Yeah, and at first he's like, "Yeah, he's small," because like Hunter's like 6'4" or some crazy shit like that, and Johnny Depp's 5'10".
Yeah, almost all the fucking actors are like really super fucking small for some reason. It's like a weird rule.
Yeah. Tom Cruise is notoriously short. Not all of them. Stallone is pretty short. Like he's buff, but he's pretty short.
Schwarzenegger is short.
No, Schwarzenegger's not short.
Yeah, he is.
No, he isn't.
Pretty sure. How tall is Schwarzenegger?
No, he's at least 6'2", dude. I'm thinking maybe 6'4". No, he's actually big. Yeah,
he is 6'2". I thought he was short. My bad. Yeah, he's also smart as fuck. He fucked over fucking what's his name? Stallone on multiple occasions by pretending he was interested in shit. And then Stallone would come in and take it, and then he's like fucking throw mama from the train or something like that? Stallone had
Stop her, my mom will shoot.
Stop or my mom will shoot. Stallone was like, God, I regret taking that movie, and I took it only because Schwarzenegger told me he was gonna do it.
Yeah,
although it's like that motherfucker got me. He got me good. It's like
it seemed like they also had fun with it though too, with that kind of little rival.
Oh yeah. I don't think either of them takes it that seriously.
Yeah, like in Last Action Hero, there was a spot where they were like, it was a movie that Schwarzenegger was in. Like how he's the kid got into the movie or whatever with Magic Ticket. Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
And it was like one of the movies that Schwarzenegger was in the real world, but in the movie world, it was Stallone. Like it was that kind of shit.
Yeah. Or like in Demolition Hero. Or Demolition Man?
Yeah, he was the president.
Yeah, he was the president. He was like, I don't fucking see it. He's like, I don't see that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, he was like, well, he was like, because, again, Schwarzenegger shouldn't have been playing, like, no, because of his popularity, they passed the amendment to where he didn't have to be born here. He's like, president?
Oh, man.
Yeah, they would have pretty, they would have fun with it. It seemed like they didn't really hate each other, even though Schwarzenegger was apparently fucking with them.
I think it's a friendly rivalry in the respect, like, they both recognize. Because when I've seen Stallone talking in like, long-term stuff and Schwarzenegger, they do recognize, like, they're incredibly lucky, like, to do what they do for a living and to be as fucking successful doing it as they are,
Yeah, I mean,
I respect the fact that Stallone like bet on himself with Rocky because he was like, yeah, I could have sold it for a lot more money, but I'm playing the part.
Yeah. Yeah,
And obviously that ended up
that
working
was
out
a
very well
ballsy
for him.
choice because, especially in Hollywood,
Yeah, back in the
like
what,
there's no
70s or whatever?
guarantee you were going to sell it to anyone else.
Yeah, yeah. So shit like that, or Stallone, because again, obviously he was just a bodybuilder guy. Even taking a risk, kind of. Well, I don't know if there's that much of a risk. I can't imagine it was that much money in bodybuilding then. But yeah, going into that field was kind of ballsy too. So I assume they both have a pretty decent amount of respect for each other.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I haven't watched the Conan movie because I think that was his first main movie, right? Which has gotten a great role for that guy to play.
Schwarzenegger's first movie was Hercules in New York. That was popular.
Okay, I don't remember that.
It wasn't like it's not one of his biggest hits, but it was popular enough that people were like, "Oh, he can carry a film." Because he did it without even being able to speak English, and they were like, and it still was this popular. Holy shit! All right, well maybe he can do this.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and yeah, he was kind of. I mean, I can't imagine anyone better. Because again, Conan is just this gigantic human being. So yeah, he was kind of perfect for that role. I don't remember if he was a good actor.
Schwarzenegger's also
though,
very, very shrewd and intelligent as a person in general, as well as being like the musclehead guy, you know. So that's definitely a big plus for them. It's like, oh, he's also smart. He's not a dum-dum.
Stop. No. Leave it. No. Oh, god damn it, dog. Oh shit, did I tell you what happened to him like a week ago? Luke, that's enough.
The dog where he
fell
over?
Yeah, did I show? Okay, I showed that to you. Okay. Yeah.
I don't think you showed it to me, but you did tell me about it, and I was like, I don't know what the hell that is. I would take him to a vet and figure that one out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it turns out that's fairly common. Like, you want to avoid it happening, but apparently that's not all that
Oh, is it like a seizure of some kind then?
Well, yeah, because what was happening is, and the reason I was filming it is because it's kind of funny, because I would go to try to, put the leash on him to bring him inside, and he would fucking start tearing ass around the yard, and like going around shit and coming back, and then doing it again and again around the tree, around whatever.
Oh,
so I started filming it because it's kind of funny. And then right at the end, I'm like, okay, and I'm literally like hitting the end button as that was happening. Like, I didn't even realize I'd caught it the first time I showed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had happened to him a couple times as a puppy, but nothing like that bad. Like, because the other times it would be like he'd be kind of running.
Overstimulation thing, then maybe probably.
Yeah. It's them running too hard for too long, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Because so it happened a couple times as a puppy, but most of the time, like, because right after it happens, like, it would just kind of lay there, and I'm like, fuck, dude, because every time I think he broke something or whatever. But he was usually okay within a minute or two. But yeah, when that happened, like, it was a good fucking half an hour before he was back to normal. So it really freaked me out. He kind of fell over there, and he wasn't trying to move, wasn't trying to get up, so I kind of like scooted him out a little bit. I was kind of testing his legs to see if he was reacting like he was hurt. He didn't seem to be, but he was not moving. He wasn't trying to stand up. So I kind of freaked out, and I scooped him up and brought him in to my room and laid him down. And he was still panting like crazy, and you could tell his heart was racing. So yeah, I was just kind of like talking like soothingly to him and petting him, slow to try to calm him down. Put the water bowl right in front of him so he didn't have to fucking get up to go drink water or whatever. So yeah, really, dude, yeah, it's fucking terrifying. But yeah, he ended up fine, and yeah, we looked it up. Like, it's again, obviously, it's not a good thing, but it's not necessarily an actual problem. Yeah, and now when he starts doing that, I just fucking go inside and close the door and give it a few minutes, and then when I come back out, he'll just come in. So that doesn't, you know what I mean? Because he literally wouldn't stop doing it until he passes out, essentially. If I kept, trying to get him to go inside right then.
Yeah,
So what I'll do
you're,
is just
you're
grab
cutting the behavior off at the source kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let him run himself like that and fucking, end up actually having his heart explode one of these times. Because I guess it's not that bad, but it's not something you want to
Remove the stimulation
concentrate on.
that causes the
Yeah. Causes the behavior
behavior,
that's threatening his life.
and the behavior
Yeah.
stops, and then you don't have to worry about the potential health negatives of the behavior. That's pretty
Indeed.
cool. Smart way to go about it. Smart way to
I
go
would
about
start.
it.
Yeah, I try to do it for close the door, open it like 10 seconds later, but that wasn't enough. So I would just give it like 2 or 3 minutes. He would just stand at the door in the meantime, and then when I finally go back out, he wouldn't doing it. Every time now, I'm just like, nope, no, and then I just go inside for a few minutes. Don't you start, weirdo. No, I'm not fighting you. Where's the fish toy? We get the fish toy. I might get it. I might get it. But yeah, it was definitely scary. But apparently, it's again.
Well, I'm glad that it's resolved in a positive fashion. That it's not like fucking.
Yeah, it's not anything that should be.
Like he's not dying of cancer or something crazy.
Wow, indeed. Whew. Yeah. Had them a lot lately too. My son got sick like last week, and then I think I caught whatever he had.
Oh yeah. Something's going around in my area too. We got a lot of colds and shit going around. It's like the fully transitioning into winter, so it's time for that sort of thing. I've been having like the sniffles, very mild sniffles.
Yeah.
Maybe it's COVID. Maybe I'm just got a little COVID and it's no big deal. It'll go away soon.
Yeah. For mine, it's usually just this persistent cough, and it's like a dry cough for the most part. And that's kind of what he had too. Although he had like full body aches, like the full flu, I think. Which sucked because he started a new job Monday.
Oh,
so he was still.
Yeah.
He was
That's no fun.
Better.
Fuck that.
Yeah, he was. He was definitely getting better by then, fortunately. But I kept the dog for like 4 days straight, just so he had time to fucking recover. By the time he started his new job.
All right, kid, you're gonna.
Yeah, I think I had him from like Friday till last night, actually. Yeah, I kept him like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, like 6 days straight, basically. I'm like, yeah, I'll take him. It's fine. You can give me an extra pack of smokes if you want, or if not, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he just made the pork tenderloin for himself the other day, which is one of his favorites.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. No, I don't
Learning how to cook and cook your own food is always a fucking. Once you get that down, that's nice.
No, we clown on his mom for it because he's like, it's not that complicated. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I know. It's not. I don't understand how your mom is so bad at it.
Oh, she's not not the best at cooking, huh?
No. But yeah, the pork tenderloin is really easy. I mean, it's basically you pat the shit down or whatever, you rub it with olive oil, you put seasoning on, you throw it in the air fryer, and that's pretty much it. It's really easy to do.
Yeah,
and kind of hard to fuck up.
I've cooked pork tenderloin on many occasions. Yeah, absolutely, it's not hard at all.
Yeah, and I think Fry's had it on sale for like $2.99 a pound, which is a really decent price. Yeah.
Ooh, that's not bad.
They have it because I remember because every once in a while at the Fry's here, they would have what they called a beef tenderloin, which was a big chunk of. It wasn't shaped the way pork tenderloin, but it was really tender beef, really fucking good. Similarly cooked, although that one was high temp, short period of time, low temperature for a long period of time kind of thing. In either direction, I can't remember which I did first, but you want to sear in the outside, get the flavor kind of caught in there, and then kind of roast it the rest of the time. And he actually prefers the pork tenderloin, and he just seems to prefer that. It's weird.
Huh?
Yeah, they're really good, but goddamn, the fucking beef tenderloin is so goddamn tasty. And again, I've only seen it a few times, and I don't know what it actually is, but they call it that for some reason. I've never seen it at any other grocery store or any of that kind of shit. But it's just a really tender roast, whatever the fuck it is. Actually, I'm gonna look it up real quick. See if they actually have anything on it. Oh, tenderloin? That's not gonna work. Beef tenderloin.
Tenderloin is some good eating, man.
Yeah, anything tender. Beef, lion. Yeah, okay, yeah, that does look. I guess it is a thing. Yeah. I think it's just like roast beef, basically. Yeah, this says this roast beef tenderloin recipe. Yeah. So yeah, you want to sear it on the outside, have it nice and pink on. Yeesh. Oh shit, my fucking son's here. Alright.
All right, you gotta call it.
call?
You gotta take off and go to the store.
Alright. Yeah, indeed.
right,
Appreciate it. All the people not listening. Bye bye.